And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles. Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Tonight we come to you live from Ravston Stadium, where the Hillcrest Knights will take on the Skyline Grizzlies. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com is presented by Teton Auto Group. Hi, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Joel Richardson. I'm joined, as always, by the man with the best initials, Jesse Richens. It's great to have you with us. It is a beautiful night. Low 70s, high 60s for a football game. Jesse, can't get much better than that.
It really can't. I'm absolutely loving the weather up here. Sometimes it gets a little too hot up here, so I imagine they're loving it just as much, if not more.
Jesse's got his shorts, T-shirt. He's got his sandals on. And he's ready. This should be a really good game. Both teams coming in. This is their second conference game of the season. Hillcrest coming in 1-0 in conference play, 2-1 overall. Skyline also 1-0 in conference play, but 1-2 overall, having lost to Morgan from Utah and Madison by a combined score of 7. Of course, last week lost a tight one by against Madison, and coming into this one looking for victory, Jesse.
Yeah, no, that that last game was pretty brutal, wasn't it, Joel? I mean, we were there for the whole thing. Are they about to? No, they're not. Sorry. But, yeah, so the Grizzlies are going to try to come out here and get their second win of the season. They played a very good game against a very good Madison team. And just like you said, Joel, it was a heartbreaker. Came down to the very last drive. They decided to go for 2.
Love it. Great decision.
Great decision. Just could not convert. There was a little bit of a mix-up in the back of the end zone. It was a little brutal to watch. It was a fun game, though. It was a great time.
And this should be another one. We're going to take a quick break as we're going to recognize our nation's flag as the Skyline Grizzlies band is going to play the national anthem. We'll be right back. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Your Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
It's not like I'm doing won't start.
This year, help dreams come true with the Ideal Idaho 529 Education Savings Program. Our easy-to-use tools make it simple to plan for your child's education. With tax benefits, ownership flexibility, Ideal is the perfect way to save for college, trade school, K-12 education, and student loan repayment. Join us at our next webinar to learn more about the 529 plan. Enrolling takes just 15 minutes and you can start with just $25. Visit idsaves.org if you would like to learn more.
Yes. Yep. Nice to meet you, Doug Swanson. Good. Yeah. 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 We're ready to go. We don't have a roster. Well, we have one roster from last week, but no Hillcrest roster. So that's okay. We'll figure it out. All right, let's go live. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Here at Ravston Stadium, Hillcrest visits Skyline for a conference matchup, crosstown matchup. Should be a really good one. Jesse Richards with Joel Richardson. Hillcrest coming in ranked with the media, only getting 8 receiving votes, but the coaches poll coming in at number 3. For Skyline, in terms of their rankings, they're number 2 in the media poll and number 1 in the coaches poll, Jesse.
Wow, that's impressive, especially for it being 1 and 2. I mean, it's hard to get a high ranking if you have multiple losses in that column. But I think Max Preps has, and the coaches, they've been watching, and they know Skyline's good. They've just had a couple close games, and they've played very, very good teams. Like you mentioned earlier, they lost to Morgan, who was 5-0, Morgan, Utah, and Madison, who was 4-0. So the media and the coaches know they've been playing really good teams, and they've been playing really well, honestly.
And they have, and last week's loss was just by 1. They go for it they go for the 2-point conversion. They don't get it. They lose by 1, but that was a non-conference game, 6A versus 5A. Madison is hot right now, and so really no loss there from the Skyline football team. Hillcrest, on the other hand, we already mentioned they're 1-0 in conference, 2-1 overall, wins over Bonneville and Thunder Ridge, and that Thunder Ridge game was not as close as the score shows. They pulled a lot of their starters early in the 4th, and a couple turnovers happened, and Thunder Ridge came back. And then they lost to Madison, but only by 17 points. So this should be interesting if you just look at the scoring, Jesse, right? They lost to Madison by 17. Skyline lost 1, but Hillcrest has really taken it to Bonneville and Thunder Ridge.
No, definitely. And I think this game will come all down to momentum, because we saw Madison pull ahead of the Grizzlies late in the second half. They pulled out probably a 2 or 3 score lead even. And, I mean, as you can see here, they lost to Madison. Well, the Hillcrest Knights lost to Madison by 17. So I really think this will be a very, very fun game to watch, and it could go either way.
I'm looking forward to seeing the matches between this Hillcrest defense and the Skyline offense. Skyline had a really hard time moving the ball. They were able to get those home run plays last week, Jesse, but in terms of just those slow, steady drives, they had a hard time with that against Madison's giant defense.
Yeah, no, they have the playmakers that they need. We discussed this last week. They have really fast, really quick receivers and running backs, and their quarterback, he's phenomenal. They just had a hard time getting things going, I think was the issue, just like you're saying, Joel. But if they can get it to those playmakers here early and often, I think that'll give Skyline a really good chance in this one.
Hillcrest, on the other hand, they've got a great quarterback in Tyson. The junior Tyson Sweetwood came in during the title game last year due to injury to the starting quarterback, Peyton King. Tyson Sweetwood has a rocket arm, shifty on the run. He's got all the intangibles. Talked to his coach the other day, Brennan Mossholder. He's in his 4th season with the Knights, and he just loves Tyson Sweetwood's game. By the way, he's also a great student and has a great personality. Those as a direct quote from his coach. But Tyson Sweetwood ended up playing in that state title game. And then last week, Sweetwood went for 132, not passing yards, but rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and then he had 182 passing yards on top of that. So look for Tyson Sweetwood. If you're not familiar with either of these teams, look for Tyson Sweetwood to get open in the open field and make people miss.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going to be looking to put the ball in Sweetwood's hands. I mean, as the quarterback, he's going to be getting the ball a lot anyway. Also, we're going to be on the lookout for Titan Larson, who has an offer from the College of Idaho. He's a junior. He's their running back and outside linebacker. He is going to be a game changer in this one.
Someone else to watch for is Daxton Sargent. He's their junior running back. Also, he's the middle linebacker, and he makes all the defensive calls for this Knights defense. He leads the team in tackles as well, and he splits the reps in the running game with that Titan Larson that you mentioned. Another player to watch for is also obviously your wide receiver, outside linebacker, senior Jace Judy. 57 receiving yards last week. He leads the team in receiving yards, Jesse.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking his way. I mean, obviously they already have been doing that. So it's great to have a playmaker like that on your side. And also, I mean, the most important part of the game down in the trenches.
Absolutely.
You have senior left tackle Michael McCartney. He's a 3-year starter. That experience means a lot. It just gets you ready for any type of situation, a pass rush or a run-stopping scheme. So that experience is really going to help on that offensive line.
And that Michael McCartney also has an offer from College of Idaho, another Big Sky school they're showing interest. Also watch for on the offensive line for the Hillcrest Knights, both these juniors. The center, Austin Reeves, he put on 250, or he's now at 250, put on a lot of weight according to Coach Mossholder, and he's an outstanding wrestler. And then the junior kicker, not on the line, but the special teams, Rylan Borgman, his longest kick is a 45-yarder. He's hit from 55 in practice, according to Coach Mossholder. He's working on his consistency, and he also plays in the soccer team. So love to see that dual sport athlete participating in soccer and football. On the defensive end for Skyline, look for the 4-3 scheme. They're going to be blitzing. They're going to be putting the pressure on. They're looking for, hopefully Kaysen Smith is okay. He banged up his shoulder a few weeks ago. Hopefully he's ready to go. But watch for Kaysen Smith on the line. And then linebacker Corbin Lancaster. Both these seniors, they look for those guys to put the pressure on these offenses and on tonight's Knights offense. And then on defense for the Knights, what do we got there, Jesse?
Yeah, for the Knights, they're going to be running a 3-4 defense, fast and physical. Usually you see a lot of blitzes out of the 3-4. One of their main keys is going to be getting off the field on third downs. Third downs are huge in the game of football, as we all know. If you can hold a team on third down, you force them to make a tough decision on the fourth down plays. And obviously they want to be creating turnovers in this game.
And let's talk about the keys of the game. And actually, let's find out what this... So as we're going to talk about the keys of the game. So earlier, folks, we made a bit of a mistake. We thought they were going to play the national anthem. The band was out there. Everyone was standing at attention. But instead, they played the Beach Boys. They played a little Surfing USA there. My anthem, Jesse.
Yeah, they felt the weather, and they're just like me in the sandals and the shorts.
Right?
So.
And so we were a bit trigger happy there. And this time we were trigger happy again, thinking they were going to do the national anthem. But instead, they're playing the Skyline fight song. That great Skyline marching band doing work along with the cheerleaders, bringing out the Skyline Grizzlies offense. So really fast, keys of the game for Hillcrest. No chunk plays. They want to mix in they want to do a mixture of blitz and bend and don't break defense, and they want to win the 1v1 matchups on the outside, answer Skyline's pressure. Coach Mossholder says if they can win those one-on-one matchups, the run game will open up and they will make big plays. Keys of the game for Skyline, Jesse.
Yeah, and we already talked about it. Can they get their playmakers into space? We already talked about this. They have amazing playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. It's just getting them into space so they can make the play. Number 2, taking care of the football. Obviously, this is huge. You do not want to give the team that you're playing against the ball back. The offense wants to keep the ball, go down the field, and score as much as they can. Obviously, another big important key is establishing the run game. As we know, the run sets up the pass, and the pass sets up the run sometimes. But I think especially in this game, it will be very important to set up the run first so you can get the passing game going. And yeah, on defense, we already talked about their junior quarterback, 6'4", cannon of an arm, but also speedy legs. They're going to have to be able to contain his running game, which is very, very difficult to defend against in any level of football.
This is going to be an epic battle. Both offenses can produce and score quickly. Both defenses like to get in the backfield and blitz and put pressure on. Looking forward to this one. Looks like we're going to finally have the national anthem, Jesse. So we're going to take a quick break, step back, answer some, recognize some sponsors, and be right back. You're watching the East Idaho Game Night, Skyline, Hillcrest, right after this.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on Idaho Sports on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens. The JRs are back in town here for another game at Rafston Stadium. Skyline playing host to Hillcrest. Great rendition there by the Skyline Marching Band, Jesse, of the national anthem.
Yeah, we love to hear the band, the high schoolers practicing a little bit there, and performing, excuse me. I'm sure they've been practicing all week.
Right. And remember, and as a reminder, we're only about 4 or 5 weeks into the school year, although fall sports is already halfway through, all sports except for football. And so these kids haven't had a ton of time to practice, but I'm always impressed when these marching bands are already playing music and especially doing a good job on the national anthem. As you see the captains out there shaking hands, we'll highlight some of the key players. We've already talked about a few of them. For Hillcrest, it's going to be junior QB Tyson Sweetwood, junior running back outside linebacker Titan Larson, senior wide receiver outside linebacker Jace Judy, and junior running back and middle linebacker Daxon Sargent for Hillcrest. And for Skyline, watch for senior quarterback Carmine Garcia, junior wide receiver Zion Crockett, senior wide receiver Traden Kirkham are going to be your key players to be watching for tonight.
And I'm really excited to watch that connection again between Carmine Garcia and Crockett. That's such a fun duo to watch. You can tell they just understand each other out there on the field.
So it looks like Skyline will receive the football first, and Hillcrest will take over in the second half as teams jump to their huddles. Hopefully no injuries in this moment. Those were the worst a few years ago. That was a baseball game. I believe the Angels hit like a walk-off home run. Player jumps into the pile and injures, like tears his ACL. So I'm always worried about those jumps into the huddle, and always crossing my fingers that no injuries occur. We're super thankful for all of our sponsors tonight. Let's recognize one really quick before we get started from Levitt Select.
Levitt Select is locally operated with locations in Rexburg, Rigby, Idaho Falls, Twin Falls, and Boise. Levitt's mission is to help our community by providing policies personalized to each consumer's needs. The community they work and live in is their #1 priority. As such, they offer a wide range of insurance products and companies able to take care of their community's assets. Levitt Select in Idaho Falls wants to be your insurance professionals. Please call them today at 208-522-2582. Levitt Select Insurance, here for all your insurance needs.
Grateful to Levitt Select for bringing this game to you and sponsoring Skyline football here on IdahoSports.com. A quick note, a personal note for this Idaho Falls community. Jay Dawson Grover, he was the junior who passed away in a car accident this past weekend. A lot of banners around the city, and people are wearing a little blue ribbon that symbolizes the hashtag Do It For Dawson. Live a good life, treat others with respect, and make good choices as you are living a life like Jay Dawson Grover did. So playing for Jay Dawson Grover tonight, even though he was a Thunder Ridge student athlete, these are two teams that are still in the same city where he grew up, and so they're playing for Jay Dawson tonight.
Of course, and obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those that are affected by this, and just devastating. But as my partner Joel was saying here, just live a good life. Honor him in any way you can.
And it's great to be here tonight watching these kids play. They always do such a good job, and for the most part, great sportsmanship. You saw the eight captains, on the field, handshaking and keeping things friendly and in good competition. As we get started on offense, Skyline will take over at the 25-yard line, but before we can do that, we have a false start. Hillcrest kicked it off, went out of bounds, and Skyline starting at the 25. But a false start will move them back to the 20, and just like that, 1st and 15, Jesse.
Yeah, that's a brutal way to start. You want that 1st and 10. 1st and 15, that's brutal. A couple more yards to go. I mean, I like it when I play the video game college football. You get a couple more yards added to your your stat line.
To your stats when you bomb it for an 85-yard touchdown. Garcia in the backfield, empty backfield. Zion Crockett in motion. That's number 5. Crockett is not open, but pass outside to number 11. Good throw there. Easy one for Taylor DeMott to bring down. And they recover their yardage and some more. Going to bring up a 2nd and short for Skyline offense.
Yeah, and starting out with a pass play, a little bit misdirection. Everyone knows Crockett is the highlighted receiver on this team. So as you saw him come across the field, I'm sure that's going to draw the attention of these defenders. And they were able to hit a pass on the other side of the field.
Handoff to the left side. They wanted to establish the run early. Breaks a tackle. Nice run there from number 6, Liam Lynch.
Yeah, great decision to go with a run there. Kind of have them on their heels. After a nice big gain on the pass, you kind of, as a defender, you're kind of thinking about that last play. So great job to go with the run and pick up the quick 1st down.
Last week against Madison, Carmine Garcia in this offense didn't run the ball as much as we would assume, as much as we would have assumed they would. But in the second half, they got that run game going and it improved. And so looking to, as Coach Scott Berger mentioned, looking to get the the run game going as Carmine Garcia steps back to pass, had plenty of time, throws it up, and that's going to be caught. Great coverage, but a better catch by number 1, Trey Kirkham, the senior wide receiver.
Man, and that was fantastic coverage. I didn't know the entire way until he caught it that he was actually going to pull that ball in. But, great pass. I would credit the protection, firstly. He had all day to throw that ball, and then he just wound up and threw it down the field. What a pass.
Grizzlies inside the red zone on the 15-yard line. 10-10 to go in the first quarter. Garcia surveys the defense. Puts Crockett in motion. Fakes the handoff. Takes it himself. Bounces to the outside. And he'll get maybe about 3 yards there, 4 yards there on the run. Excuse me, 3 yards. And Jace Judy on the tackle, Jesse.
Yeah, the receiver and the D-back. I will be seeing a lot of that motion tonight by Skyline. We saw it a lot last week. They like to bring Crockett in motion because, again, he catches the eyes of the defense. So keep a lookout for those motions, maybe a handoff, maybe a fake handoff.
Of course, Jace Judy playing outside linebacker as well as wide receiver. So you'll be hearing his name a lot like Jesse mentioned. Crockett looking to throw. He's got his man open. Caught, in for 6, touchdown, Grizzlies.
And who else but Crockett? He's just so speedy. He came from the other side of the field on that left side. Just a very simple crossing pattern, maybe even a drag. And just the speed. He just completely outran the defenders. And great job by Garcia finding him on the other side for the touchdown.
So with 9:50 to go, our first touchdown is a throw from Carmine Garcia to Zion Crockett. 7-yarder as the kick is up and the kick is...
Oh, they went for 2.
Oh, they went for 2, excuse me.
Crockett up the middle.
And they got it. Thank you, Jesse.
Of course.
Crockett right up the middle, no problem. Brings it 8-0, so Skyline here to play so far.
Yeah, wow, they had that quick opening drive, quick score. And then they wanted to add on to the hurt by putting 2 extra points on there instead of the PAT.
So 2-point conversion is good. And so with 9:50 to play, 8-0 in this first quarter. Not a bad start from Skyline's offense.
Not
I
bad
believe
at
every
all.
play except for, that first penalty was positive yards. And even that run play was a run for about 8. So chunk yards there. And then that 50-plus yard throw from Garcia to Trey Kirkham got him into the red zone. Nice start from Skyline's offense.
And this is the exact reason why, even though they have those 2 losses, why they are being regarded very highly in the coaches and the media polls. I mean, just look how explosive that offense is. That was such a quick drive. 5-6 play drive down the field and an 80-yard drive.
Well, a pooch kick is short. They did the same thing against Madison last week, Jesse, making sure that there are no returns. Gave Madison good field position to start, but they didn't want to get gashed on those special teams plays.
Yeah, and I think Madison returned the favor as well. They didn't like kicking it off to Crockett very much. Again, the speedy receiver. But that is a great way to prevent big kick returns. And it is also a way to kind of test those blockers, see if they can catch the football.
So our first look at the Hillcrest Knights offense. With 9:50 to go in this first quarter, they'll start at the 38-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Nice run there from number 3, Titan Larson. We'll get a couple.
Yeah, great run. Just kept those legs churning. You could tell he was not going to be taken down by some wimpy arm tackle. He made sure to make him pay.
Hillcrest in the shotgun. Larson to the right hip. Another handoff to Larson. And they wanted to get the run game going early. Nice yards. Keep his feet under him, and they'll give him the first down. A nice second and about 6 run to get the first down, Jesse.
Yeah, just power football down in the trenches. But my dad always says if they can't stop the run, why stop running the football? It's a lot more risky to throw the football and risk an interception. Obviously, fumbles can happen, but those happen a lot less than interceptions do.
4 receivers, 2 on both sides. Sweetwood takes the snap. Play action. He's got his man open. And that's just far from the hands. The pass was intended for number 11, Jace Judy. And Judy beat his man, Jesse, but just beyond the outstretched hands of the star wide receiver.
He was going to score a touchdown right there, Joel. It's just perfect play setup. They ran the ball 2 times in a row, and then on 1st and 10, might as well take a shot on the play action pass, bring down those linebackers a little bit, and he had that receiver wide open, just like you said, but just out of reach.
4 wide again. It worked the first time. Why not try it again? 2nd and 10, 8:40 to play. Skyline brings some pressure, and it's almost picked off. Nice defense there from Skyline, forcing Tyson Sweetwood to make a quick decision. I sure hope that's Tyson Sweetwood. So I just turned it down. I sure hope it's Tyson Sweetwood, because I don't. It's a different number, so we'll find out.
Oh yeah.
So 3rd and 10 on the 48. Skyline brings some 2nd down pressure, something they wanted to do. 8:37 to play. Let's see what Grizzlies cook up on 3rd down, and if Hillcrest can answer that 2nd down defensive play. Sweetwood takes the snap. Quick throw to the outside. That's incomplete. In and out of the hands of, I believe that was to Titan Larson.
Yeah, I believe that was Titan Larson.
Falls incomplete. So 4th and 10 on the 48. We've seen a lot of these plays, and they go for it when you're past that, when you're either close to the 50 or just beyond the 50, they go for it, even when it's 4th and 10. But looks like they're going to punt this time, Jesse.
Sure does.
Looked like he was potentially setting up for a pistol play, and then receives it at the 2-yard line. Nice block there from Skyline. Tries to cut it inside. Nice return there. About a 27-yard return, Jesse.
Yeah, great return. A little bit questionable to bring that out. I mean, I guess the ball could have landed on the one. That would have been even worse for your offense. But a great job creating that space, and especially the blockers, making room for those playmakers.
And you heard the audience ooh and ah off that first block. Set the Hillcrest players sliding almost into the end zone. 1st and 10 Skyline on the 28. 8:21 to play in the first quarter. Skyline leading 8-0 after a quick opening drive. 4 receivers wide. Takes the snap. And that's going to be way outside. No chance for number 1 Trey Kirkham on the catch.
Looked like they just wanted to get a quick throw in, but yeah, that one never had a chance of getting to the receiver. Almost looked like a throwaway, but it was too quick to be a throwaway. I imagine we'll see a run on this next play. It's my crystal ball prediction here. Never mind, empty.
So they go empty. The crystal ball is wrong for the first time ever for Jesse. They go 5 wide. We've seen this play before. A handoff to Zion Crockett. He fakes right, goes left, then he fakes again and gets something after it looked like the play was going to be blown up. But Crockett made just enough of a shimmy to get a few extra yards.
Yeah, and I guess the crystal ball wasn't wrong. They did, in fact,
it
run
was
the
a running
ball.
play, Jesse. So we take it back.
But yeah, that was just a nice little counter play. Didn't work as well as they wanted it to, but did pick up a couple yards. And again, they just want to use Crockett as much as they can. They'll even motion him into the backfield for a handoff.
Garcia in the shotgun. Looks like they're looking for a screenplay, but no, they're going to go long to Zion Crockett and just misses. Ball hit his hands. He was completely lateral on the throw, Jesse.
We have seen multiple plays like that from Crockett. Last week he did multiple diving catches, at least diving attempts. And that was a great setup play. They, like you said, Joel, they were trying to set up the screen, but it was all for fakes. He did Garcia did a little pump fake out to the left and then looked deep to Crockett. And I thought for sure he was long gone.
I like that wrinkle, but doesn't pan out. Brings up 4th and 6 on the 32. So the Grizzlies will punt. And that's a squib punt there, but it'll roll. It takes a decent roll to about the 42-yard line. So kind of a funky punt there, but it worked, Jesse.
It was a very generous roll. I don't know how he got that to work. You never know how a football's going to roll, but he sure got it down there. We'll see if Hillcrest can avoid another 3 and out here. Obviously wanting to get some points up on the board, being down 0-8.
Sweetwood hands it off. And he'll get a couple. So far, Skyline defense doing a good job defending against the run, not letting much go.
Yeah, and he even seeks that contact. He just runs in there, looked at the first guy he can see, and sticks his arm out. He wants that stiff arm. He wants the highlight reel Derrick Henry, shove your face to the ground.
Sweetwood's got 3 receivers and Larson on his left hip. Takes the ball and will take it himself. Left side, a little B-gap action there from Sweetwood. And he'll get a few more yards, bring up 3rd and 3 for Hillcrest. So the shortest 3rd down they've had so far in this first quarter.
And again, just like I said earlier, they want to avoid another 3 and out. And I think it may be smart to put it in Fleetwood's hands. He's a good runner, as we've talked about. Sweetwood, excuse me.
No problem. Power left with the running back on his right hip. See what they draw up. Takes the snap. It's going to be an option. Fakes it. Gets outside. And they will get the first down. Nice hit there from Skyline's defense. But good run. Better run from Sweetwood.
Just like we were saying, Sweetwood, he's a great runner. You want to put the ball in his hands as often as you can. And it's pretty easy being the quarterback to get the ball every time. But it's fun to watch him run the ball. There was a whistle. Don't know why. Substitution maybe, not quite sure, but I guess we're rolling again.
Nice crowd obviously from the Skyline fans, but also from Hillcrest. Good student section representation, all dressed in the safety gear or
Just
the
like
highlight
Madison.
gear. Nice run up the middle from Hillcrest. Trying to get that run game going. Players shaking up.
Yeah, here's a look at the the student section.
There you go, as you see on your screen, all in highlighted colors. Looking good. Looks like a packet of highlighters that you would, take to school back before they had laptops. Do kids even highlight anymore? Do they even know what that is?
Probably not.
Out running a run, to the left side, but going nowhere. Nice defense from Skyline. Good tackle there from number 0, Corbin Lancaster, the senior linebacker.
Hillcrest is very focused on this run game, just like you were saying, Joel. They are just trying to win down in the trenches and hopefully create another big play like they did earlier, just couldn't get the pass down.
Quick drop from Sweetwood. He rolls to his right side. He's got his man open. Finally hits him. And that's going to be a first down and then some inside the 30-yard line.
Great job by Sweetwood using his legs to do a nice little rollout. His first read wasn't there, so you saw him roll out to the right side. And then he found his guy running a crossing pattern down the right sideline.
So on the 28-yard line, 3:57 and counting. Hillcrest Knights, a fresh set of downs after that nice roll and completion. They hand it off right up the middle. Breaks through a bunch of tacklers, and he will not go down. Gets the first down and then some. About a 14-yard run from Hillcrest.
And that's the kind of determination you need out of your running back. A lot of running backs sometimes will be a little bit too hesitant when to hit the hole and take on contact. But that time he was just ready for it, and he faced it head on, and he wanted to score a touchdown on that play.
That was Daxton Sargent on the carry. A nice screen play, and almost a touchdown-saving tackle there from Skyline. It was a quick throw to the inside, but there's going to be a penalty on the play. That pass was caught by Titan Larson. Excuse me.
Judy?
I believe Jace Judy.
Yeah.
Thank you. For some reason, I could not find his name. Jace Judy. Actually, I think Jace Judy's number 11. I don't know. That was past the number 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it was an illegal block in the back there. So that will push him back 10 yards, I believe.
Bring up 1st and 19 on the 24-yard line. 3:21 to play in the first quarter. Skyline leading 8-0 after a quick strike and then a couple punts by both teams. Sweetwood takes the snap. It's a fake handoff, makes a couple guys miss, and then some, making something out of nothing. Should have been sacked, Jesse, and brought down after a gain of a couple.
Man, that was just such a great heads-up play by Sweetwood. I mean, you saw it. He was going to throw that ball out to the right side on the little smoke screen. But that the Skyline defender jumped up in the air, and he pulled the ball down. And like you said, he made another guy miss and ran forward, got a couple yards, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Probably 2nd and 12, close.
They're going to call it 2nd and 13, 2:30 to play in the first quarter. Just inside the red zone. Sweetwood calling for the audible. Takes the snap. It's going to be an option, and he will keep it himself. Big hit. Hit stick time with a few words afterwards from number 28, Bennett Southwick, the junior linebacker. My goodness, Jesse.
Man, what a hit. And he was not fooling Southwick there. He knew exactly what Sweetwood wanted to do with the football, and he knew he wasn't going to pitch it off. Sweetwood's an amazing runner, so he was just going to wait for him all the way, and I'm sure they've made an adjustment on the sideline for that, just to only watch out for Sweetwood, especially on those option plays.
Sweetwood once again in the shotgun with Larson on his right hip. Puts a man in motion. Takes the snap, rolls to his right side is Sweetwood. Sweetwood steps, fires. That's going to be picked. Interception by Skyline, read it the entire way. Number 21, Will Jensen, the senior DB.
Man, that was just great execution defensively. And he just ran in front of him and picked that off. And here's their little celebration they do for a turnover.
Will Jensen will move over to the throne, the turnover throne. Will shine that necklace, the bling, and gets the pick. You know, Hillcrest wanted to win the turnover margin. They've thrown a few interceptions, let go of a few fumbles in the last few games, and another interception thrown by Sweetwood. Here goes Skyline on offense. Nice run there, making something out of nothing, a couple of yards there. Liam Lynch on the carry will bring up 2nd and about 8.
And I like to see that no hesitation on offense, just run out, run a play. You know, the defense on the sideline just not ready to come out all of a sudden after a turnover. So great to catch them with a quick run.
This should be the last play of the quarter, 46 seconds until we get to 0 of the first quarter. Puts Crockett in motion. Crockett takes the handoff, and just a couple more yards for Skyline, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter. Skyline trying to get their running game going. It got going a little bit last week, but I feel like, well, we felt like it was a little too late. And tonight so far, though, positive yards in the run game.
And you can tell they think very highly of the run game because of how much they're trying to make it work and how effective it can make your offense. If you can control the line of scrimmage, you control the entire game. So that is exactly why Skyline is looking to do that.
So after the opening 12 minutes of action, Skyline 8, Hillcrest 0. A quick touchdown, a couple punts, and then an interception brings us to our current score. Let's recognize a sponsor during this break, Jesse.
Experience radiant, youthful skin and elevate your self-care routine with the help of Cleopatra's Secret in Idaho Falls. Dive into their exclusive range of luxurious skincare and wellness products inspired by the secrets of ancient royalty. Find them at 1775 East 17th Street, Suite B in Idaho Falls, or online at www.cleopatrasecrets.net. Let your beauty reign at Cleopatra's Secret.
Appreciate our sponsors to bring this game to you live, free, no sign-in required. All you got to do is click the link on IdahoSports.com, go to GameStreams, click the link on upcoming games, upcoming streams, and you could be watching Hillcrest Skyline and a number of other games throughout Idaho tonight. Some great ones, including Highland getting a visit from the Thunder Ridge Titans, their first conference game of the season. 3rd and 5, ball on the 16-yard line. Second quarter. Pass to the outside. It's going to be a screen. Will they get 5? And they will give them the first down up to the 24-yard line, and that'll be the first down for Skyline.
Great job there. Run, and then pass. It's a pretty good little combination you can use there. Sometimes it doesn't work too well, but that beginning of this drive worked out great for him.
So Grizzlies are on the 22-yard line, 1st and 10, 11:30 as we get started into the second quarter. 8-0 Grizzlies. Quick handoff. He comes to our near side. A nice chunk play there on the ground. And the Grizzlies, that'll bring up a second and manageable. You can't ask for more on first down, Jesse.
You really can't. Just, again, we've been kind of saying it over and over again, but it's just establishing that run game. You really can't ask for more with a first down run. Most teams are expecting a run on first down, so great job there.
So got more. They gave him a favorable spot there. So 2nd and 1 for the Grizzlies. As you see, the offensive line has that light blue helmet, as the rest of the offense has those dark blue helmets. Love that distinction.
It's pretty cool. Didn't know it was legal, but pretty cool.
Garcia, play action. He's going to go long. His man double covered, but he is wide open. Crockett, 20, 10, 5, and he's in for 6.
And that is the connection we were so excited to see today, Joel. Garcia and Crockett. Man, he is speedy fast. He was even double teamed. He had a safety over him, but he even just completely outran that safety. And man, what an awesome play.
So another home run play from the Skyline Grizzlies, and they will go for the extra point, which is good. Kicking duties performed by the quarterback, Carmine Garcia. Played soccer in middle school growing up. He was a great soccer player in middle school and finally started playing football, and the rest is history, but takes the field goal kicking duties and extra point as well. 15-0, Skyline leads.
Hillcrest is definitely devising a plan over there. Already down 15-0. Looking to score their own points here on this drive. Of course, after the kickoff.
And Jesse, their first two drives, first one ended in a punt, second ended in an interception, but they were driving on that second one. So really close, just take care of that football and they should keep this game interesting.
Yeah, they need to do a lot of the same things they did on that last drive. Just like you said, Joel, they were driving down the field. They'd gotten within the 10-yard line even, but just a very, very costly interception, almost in the end zone, turned the favor very quickly.
A nice kick, received at about the 1-yard line. Looking for room, but going nowhere. Gets tackled at about gonna give him a little forward progress. They'll take over at the 16-yard line. So a 69-yard touchdown catch by Crockett from Carmine Garcia. Again, that's 2 home run plays. The first one was in the first quarter. Big throw to Trey Kirkham. And then eventually got the touchdown, ended in an 80-yard drive. And that drive was about the same, 80, maybe a little bit more, but ended in that 69-yard touchdown throw from Carmine Garcia to Zion Crockett, finishing with the 6.
Yeah, and so far a lot of these explosive plays is what Skyline is looking to do, and it's obviously working great.
Yeah, it's their bread and butter, right? They win off those home run plays. Quick throw to the outside to about the 20-yard line. Other than give them some more forward progress. Should be a gain of about 4. Brings up a 2nd and 6. That was a completed pass to Jace Judy.
Great first down play, just a quick pass to your playmaker. See if you can do anything with it. If not, you got a couple yards at least. 5 to be exact.
9:43 to play in this first half. They hand the ball off, and he's clipped early on by the Skyline defense. Nice read there to just slow them down. Sometimes you may not get the tackle, but you slow them down and you allow the rest of your guys to clean up the garbage.
Exactly, and it must have been a run blitz there because they were, like you said, he got clipped in the backfield. Couldn't make the tackle, but just like you said, Joel, slowed him down just enough for the defensive lineman to get off of their blocks and make the tackle.
3rd and 6, 9:10 to play, ball on the 21-yard line. Hillcrest needs to stay in this game with this first down.
This is a huge down, already down 2 scores. Need to make something happen.
Sweetwood, a short drop, gets the ball past the outside. That's going to be, they're going to mark him short of the first down, Jesse.
Wow, just short. I definitely thought he got a little bit further.
So on the 31-yard line, that's going to bring up 4th and 1 with 8:51 to play. Do you go for it here, Jesse?
Oh, it's a tough choice. I think they will, though, to be honest. Oh, look, they're coming out in I formation.
A little power, I formation. Love to see it. Where's Coach Casey on Instagram and Twitter when you need him? Take a look. Quarterback under center, and he pushes forward, and he's going to get a great push. Something that the Skyline defensive line had a hard time with last week was that run game, stopping the run. Madison was able to push and push and push, and Hillcrest does just that to get the first down.
Yeah, and head coach of Hillcrest, Brennan Mossholder, he's probably wondering where that push has been with his run game, because that was an amazing push for the QB sneak. Obviously, you block differently for a quarterback sneak than a zone run, but
you notice it wasn't the tush push, though.
It's true.
His running backs were behind him, Watching that pile go. Another run to the outside. We'll get a couple of yards. Bring up second at about 8. Ball on 31-yard line. 8:17 to play. Sweetwood and his offense in that spread formation. 3 receivers. Sweetwood's going to take it himself, gets a nice block, makes a couple guys miss, gets to the outside, and he's crossed the 40, the 30. He's got wheels, 20. Can he get in the end zone? 10. Does he cross? He does not. They're pointing to the edge. They do. Touchdown, Hillcrest.
Man, is he speedy. He was outrunning everyone on the field, including the defensive backs, who are known for their speed because they have to cover those receivers. But, man, what a run from Sweetwood. Nice little zone read. Cuts out to the left side and said sayonara and just went down and scored the touchdown.
Great run there from Tyson Sweetwood. And man, once he bounced to the outside, he made a couple guys miss, got to the outside, and he was off to the races. And they take it themselves, and he's tackled just short of the goal line. Incomplete is the 2-point conversion, and we remain at 15-6.
I like that fake, though. A nice little direct snap. I mean, to the holder, who's going to get the snap anyway, but the speed that he had, I'm surprised he got stopped at the line.
Again, another kind of shoestring tackle in that backfield. Skyline able to penetrate that offensive line and get that tackle before they can really get momentum going. So 2-point is no good, but the 67-yard touchdown run by Sweetwood is. And we are at 15-6. Hillcrest lead. Skyline leads. So a couple big home run plays. Fun to watch, but if you are on the defense, if you're the defensive coordinator, you're kind of scratching your head, Jesse.
No, you definitely are, because you've been talking to your team all week. You've been watching film the entire week. You know how both of these teams play. You know who the difference makers are. But sometimes you just cannot do enough to stop them. For example, the Hillcrest, they know for sure Crockett is going to go out and make plays. And if you're Skyline, you know Sweetwood is going to make plays. Sometimes it's just better play offensively.
So Hillcrest set to kick off after the 67-yard touchdown run from Sweetwood. That's Rylan Borgman with a booming kick all the way to the end zone, and that's going to be a touchback. Talked to Coach Mossholder this week, and he is high on his kicker, Borgman.
I mean, did you see that kick?
And last week he was 4 for 4 on touchbacks. And again, we talked about Borgman earlier in the broadcast. His longest field goal kick, he also handles the field goal kicking duties. His longest is 45 yards and has hit 55 in practice, Jesse. Still working on some of that consistency. And Borgman's also a soccer player. Plays in the soccer team here at Hillcrest.
Yeah, of course. As a kicker, it's just all about consistency. That's what gets those NFL kickers paid, is how consistent they are.
So after the Hillcrest touchdown, Skyline takes over at the 25. At the 20. 25-yard line, 20-yard line. Handoff to the left side. I don't know what my numbers are. 20-yard line. And we'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll give them 1, 2nd and 9. 7:30 to play. Jesse Richardson with Joel Richardson on the call here on the East Idaho Prepcast on IdahoSports.com. If you're curious about other games throughout the state of Idaho tonight, check out the Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com. Keep that updated as much as possible. And know how the other schools throughout this great state of Idaho are performing tonight. Some great matchups. Handoff to the left side. Gets the outside, gets a couple blocks, but tackled out of bounds. Nice run there from number 6, Liam Lynch. So Lynch handling a lot of the running duties tonight, Jesse, in the backfield.
Yeah, and he's creating space for himself along with that offensive line. We noted earlier they are struggling a little bit on that offensive line for good rushing plays, but we've seen no problems with Garcia having time to throw the football.
This offensive line was a bit gashed in terms of injuries, but they've been rotating a few guys in and out and have a couple of starters from the last few years, but missing a couple of their guys, including Atticus Furman, who's out for the year. Empty backfield, Carmine Garcia takes the snap, rolls back, and that ball was not intended for Trey Kirkham, but he almost hauls it in, but the ball falls incomplete. We'll bring up 4th and 5. And looks like Skyline will go ahead and punt this ball away.
Again, Garcia had plenty of time back there. Just Hillcrest was definitely ready for that pass play, and they kind of just sat back and in that zone coverage. And, I mean, they were ready for whatever came, stopping them on 3rd down.
Good job by the offensive line, like you mentioned. We got Perkins, senior Dylan Meek, and junior Trey Blue have been doing a good job of handling the offensive line duties. As we get set to punt, nice punt there from Skyline, and it's called a fair catch. And they'll take over at the 33-yard line. Let's recognize the sponsor, Jesse.
Levitt Select is locally operated with locations in Rexburg, Rigby, Idaho Falls, Twin Falls, and Boise. Levitt's mission is to help our community by providing policies personalized to each consumer's needs. The community they work and live in is their #1 priority. As such, they offer a wide range of insurance products and companies able to take care of their community's assets. Levitt Select in Idaho Falls wants to be your insurance professionals. Please call them today at 208-522-2582. Levitt Select Insurance, here for all your insurance needs.
So 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line for Hillcrest after Skyline punts it away. Skyline, though, leading 15-6. Hillcrest takes over at the 33-yard line. 6:06 to play in the second quarter. Jesse Richens with Joel Richardson. Sweetwood, plenty of time to pass, throws it into a lot of traffic. Ball falls incomplete. Pass intended for number 7, Webster.
Just like you said, dangerous pass there, Joel. A little drag route down below. There was a linebacker and a corner there, though, making it a very dangerous pass.
So 2nd and 10. Sweetwood takes the snap. He'll take it himself right up the middle. And he had a blocker in front of him, but nice tackle from Skyline's line. That's number 3, Dylan Andrews.
I'm sure they've been seeing that play all week long. Again, we know Sweetwood likes to run the football, so they've been preparing with film for those quick quarterback draws that he does. As you saw, it was like a one-step drop and then immediately planted to pick up some yardage with his feet, but Skyline was ready.
3rd and 4, Sweetwood runs for 6 yards. Running back on his left hip, puts a man in motion, takes the snap, rolls to his left, quick throw, and that's just completed. Had to reach down for that catch, but made the catch, and good yak all the way to the 49-yard line in Skyline territory.
Great job using the motion to the advantage there, to their advantage, coming from the right side to the left side, and it looks like they were lucky enough to catch Skyline in a man coverage situation, which makes it very easy for receivers going in motion to get open because they're already moving quick.
Sweetwood again, 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen, single coverage, and a quick throw on the slant falls incomplete. That was pass intended for Jace Judy. You wonder if Jace Judy heard footsteps, because that was going to be a big hit, and it was a big hit. Would have been worse if he caught.
Yeah, and it makes you think you're going to get hit anyway. Might as well catch the ball at least.
But we've seen plenty of college and NFL receivers
Yes,
make a
of
business
course,
decision and hold off on those catches. Those slants can be dangerous. 2nd and 10, 4:54 to play on the 49-yard line. Hillcrest looking to answer from their last touchdown. Quick pass to the outside. Breaks a couple tackles and pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That was Jason Saunders, number 2 on the catch.
And those plays are always great. Just get it out to your playmaker. They saw Skyline was playing kind of a deeper coverage. So you get it out to your playmaker, and he has the ability to make a man miss, and he did, and picked up that nice yardage for the first down.
So that was Mason Saunders on the catch, the senior corner and wide receiver. Sweetwood single coverage at the top of your screen again. They run it, but they're tackled in the backfield for almost a loss, but I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. So nice effort there, making something out of nothing.
Again, he's just a fighter. He likes the contact when he runs the football, and you can just see it. Trying to get the extra yardage. Looks like he may have lost one.
He may have lost one.
Yeah.
So it looked like they were going to get him back to the line of scrimmage, but he did lose one, bringing up 2nd and 11, 4:18 and counting to play in this first half. Sweetwood surveys, takes the snap, rolls to this near side. He's rushed out of the pocket and almost picked off again. Great defense there from number 2, Taylor, as he puts the sword back in his holster. I know it's not called a holster, but that was the first word that came to mind.
Sheath.
Sheath. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
That's why Jesse's here. Sir Jesse, as we should call him.
Oh,
the problem is that was the Grizzlies and not the Knights. It would have been much better if, the Knights were on defense, made the stop, put the sword back in the sheath.
Right, yeah. Oh, and there was
As we have a penalty on the play, and it's going to be a hold.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that's going to bring up 2nd and long for Hillcrest. It was 2nd and 11. That's going to bring up 2nd
and 21.
And 21. Of course, you puts them all the way back to the 47-yard line.
Not only are you demoralized by an incomplete pass, now all of a sudden you're 10 yards further back.
So quick throw to the outside, and that falls incomplete. Tyson Sweetwood has missed a number of receivers tonight. Sweetwood has a lot of yards throwing. Decent percentage, just at about 60% completion percentage. But he's missed a couple wide open receivers tonight.
Yeah, he's had a little bit harder time in this game, as we've seen so far. Don't know what it could be. I mean, the weather's perfect, right? Just sometimes you have a couple off throws. I'm sure we'll see him get right back into his performing ways.
And a little programming note, with 4:03 to play, we're going to have the Grid Kid night. It's Grid Kid night here at Skyline, and Grid Kids are going to come out and maybe play a little bit during halftime. Just made that announcement on the loudspeaker. Sweetwood, 3 and forever, takes the snap. They bring the blitz, throw to the outside, makes a man miss. He's got to get past all these tacklers. He almost does. Great try there from Hillcrest. And they will bring up a 4th and short. They go for it here, Jesse.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you do have that really good kicker in Borgman over there. But when you're this close and the momentum after a play like that, I mean, that was such a huge play, 15-yard play. You got to keep the offense on.
So 4th and 5, ball on the 31-yard line. We're not going to say this could be the play of the night, but definitely would swing the momentum in the Hillcrest side, as we're going to get a timeout called by Mossholder. And we'll take a quick break. We'll recognize the sponsor. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Welcome back to Idaho Falls, Ravston Stadium, the home of the Skyline Grizzlies, also the home of the Idaho Falls Tigers. But tonight, Skyline Grizzlies. Last week was their homecoming game here. Jesse Richens and I brought the game to you. Madison just won by 1 tonight. Skyline leading 15-6. Hillcrest, though, with the ball on 4th and 5 on the 31-yard line. We'll see what they draw up with 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. And did Skyline jump or did Hillcrest move?
I think they're calling it on Skyline. That's going to be an automatic first down. We'll see, though. The line judge signaled encroachment, but they will have a little discussion.
Super thankful for the referees taking their time. And they're going to call it against Skyline. That'll be an automatic first down for Hillcrest. As the student section on the opposite side chants the classic, "You can't do that." So 1st and 10, ball in the 26, just shy of the red zone. And the Knights would love to punch one in as there's 3:20, as we have 3:24 left to play in the half. And I don't know if you can hear that, but then the Skyline student body answers with scoreboard. Another classic. You know, you get old, you experience a lot of things, but some things never change. And those are the chants from the student body. I formation, Sweetwood under center. Fakes the handoff, play action. He forces his guy to go up. Is that going to be almost picked? It's not. They're going to call no pass interference, and that ball was underthrown the entire way, Jesse.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad not to see a call here because it was going both ways. The defender was causing some issues. They were fighting there, so I'm kind of glad we didn't see a call because it could have been called either way on that one. Despite what you're hearing from the fans on this side.
Nice work there from Will Jensen, the senior DB, 6'1", 165. Does a great job there in single coverage on the island, Jesse. Stops that touchdown. 2nd and 10, 3:17 to play, ball on the 26-yard line. Sweetwood in the shotgun. Takes the snap, throws the quick outside, and that's almost picked off again. That's, I believe, the third throw that's almost picked off. 3 out of 4, and the 4th one was picked off.
Yeah, that's brutal for Sweetwood.
Sweetwood's making these quick throws, assuming that his guys are open, but both those throws, when he's made those quick throws, his guys have not been open. Good coverage there from Skyline, waiting for those quick outs and those quick slants. 3rd and 10, 3:14 to play, ball on the 26-yard line, 2nd quarter of action. Sweetwood takes the snap, throws, and that's a missed tackle. Jace Judy is able to wriggle free and gets inside the 10. First down, Hillcrest.
Wow. I don't know how he pulled that in. He had a defender all over him. And like you said, right afterwards, he had to break off of a tackle. And I thought he was going to go score. But they'll have another chance here.
Hillcrest getting the ball to their playmakers. That time was Jace Judy. Sweetwood under center. Hands it off to the second guy, and he tries to get in. Does he? No, he stopped at about the 1-yard line. So nice power football right up the middle, Jesse. Love to see it.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Most teams these days just run a lot of spread out of the shotgun, but you love to see him come out in this I formation. You must have a classic offensive coordinator on that other side.
Another I formation, Sweetwood under center. We'll see if he runs it himself this time. Gets down, hands down, pitch to the outside. He cuts inside. He jumps in. He does. Hillcrest scores, but there's a flag down. Looks like this one's coming back, Jesse. A block in the back, perhaps?
Such a late call. Looks like a hold.
Okay, so holding on Hillcrest, and Skyline was coming in hot, and he missed the tackle, but it was due to that hold, and Hillcrest is going to be marched back 10 yards, and Mossholder is going to call a timeout with 2:09 to play in the first half. So Skyline dodges the bullet there, catches a break, and that'll bring up 2nd and long. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. The holding penalty pushes Hillcrest to the 11-yard line, so 2nd and goal from the 11-yard line with 2:09 to play. What do you draw up here, Jesse?
Probably like a little screenplay out to that right side. I can see they have a bunch formation out there. So you have some nice blocking out there. Or you do a quick little run with Sweetwood. He's got those legs.
And we got a penalty as Skyline was needed to do a substitution, and they had too many men on the field. So Hillcrest commits a penalty, and then Skyline answers back with their own 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, it will be officially called as an offsides because he was coming onto the field, but obviously he was on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. Hillcrest knocking on the door. Hillcrest receives the ball in the second half, so they score here, and they're in good shape to potentially take this lead, 15-6. Sweetwood takes the snap, but he'll take it himself. Gets around a couple guys, and he's tackled before he can get in at about the 2-yard line. And another flag here, 2 flags thrown, and that's after the play, after the whistle, so that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely some words being exchanged back there after that low. It was a low tackle. A lot of players don't like to see that happen to their quarterback, but that's kind of what you put yourself into when you run the football.
We'll wait for the call. And that's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Skyline.
Makes you wonder what was said.
And half the distance of the goal.
Sure, we couldn't air it.
Will bring up 1st and inches for Hillcrest. So Skyline hurts themselves on this drive. Hillcrest did it first, but Skyline, 2 penalties in a row, will give Hillcrest a all but done touchdown.
Kind of battling to see who won't make a mistake at this point.
Referee's talking to both players. Want to make sure this game stays clean. Sweetwood under center in the I formation. Hands it off to the 2nd receiver, and Larson's going to get in for 6. Touchdown, Hillcrest.
Again, it's that power football. Just run it right up the middle. As we saw a couple plays ago, they tried to do a toss to the outside, which caused a holding penalty to be called, which is the danger of running outside, of course. But this time, punching it in on the run right up the middle.
So Hillcrest, on their last touchdown, they went for the 2-point conversion and they failed, and this time they are going for the extra point. Holder makes the sign, gets the snap, kick is up, and kick is good for 7. So with 1:50 to play, Titan Larson punches it in for 6. with a PAT good. It brings us to a score of 15-13 with 1:50 to play in the second quarter.
A very normal football score, 13-15.
So during the halftime, the band's going to come out, play some music, and then we will have the Grid Kids come out and be recognized. Don't know if they're going to be playing any football. Hope so.
They might run
Always
around
fun
a
to
little
watch. Watch the Grid Kids. Great program up here in Idaho Falls and here in East Idaho. Had the chance to broadcast some Grid Kid games last November up in Rigby.
That's right.
And Jesse was there with me.
Yeah.
We were
Up there with
working
Paul,
the camera,
Leif.
and Paul and Leif doing some color commentary for those games. A lot of fun to watch kind of the up-and-coming players, and there were some ballers, Jesse.
There were. Those kids can run the ball.
So 15-13, Grizzlies up by 3. We'll try to use the clock wisely with 1:50 to play,
Up
starting
by 2.
with the kickoff, which will go into the end zone. Another nice kick from the Hillcrest, Rylan Borgman gets another one in the end zone. So again, 1:50 to play. Skyline will try to use the clock, manage that clock to the best of their ability to try to get in before halftime as the Knights take over, as the Knights get the ball in the second half.
Now you have to be careful here. You have two choices. You can go down the field and score a touchdown, extend the lead into halftime, but it's also risky to do that. Your second choice, you could kind of just run the clock out, so then you don't give the ball back to Hillcrest with another chance to score and possibly take the lead before halftime.
So Skyline on the 20-yard line. Well, again, 1:50 to play. Grizzlies up 3 on the Knights. High snap, hands it off, and he's going to go nowhere on the jet sweep, trying to get a push up front. And I think the entire Hillcrest defense, plus the coaches, were out there making the tackles. Maybe a couple fans. There was everyone out there on that tackle, Jesse.
Hey, when they say everyone to the football, they mean everyone to the football.
Hats to ball, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to let this clock run out. They won't be going for the home run play, or so it appears. 1:15 and counting to play. 2nd and 10. Went nowhere on that sweep.
Yeah, you don't see any hurry, which could be a little bit of a deception if they do want to score.
Garcia's got 4 wide. Running back on his right hip. Puts Crockett in motion. Takes the snap. 3-step drop. Rolls to his far right side. And that's going to be a throw downfield out of bounds. No chance there for Crockett. And bring up 3rd and 10 with 55 seconds to play in this first half. So no late hit there, Jesse. No flag. And we'll bring up 3rd and 10.
The clock does stop, though, with that incomplete pass. It may have been a good time to take a sack just to make sure the clock could keep running, because now you have this long 3rd down and 10. I mean, I'd imagine we'd see them run the ball here. I believe Hillcrest has 1 timeout left, maybe 2.
Well, it was interesting because Crockett was open on that throw if he could have gotten that ball to him, but that is a hard throw to make across your body as you're rolling to the far opposite side. So Garcia has 5 wide, so Grizzlies trying to strike. And he's going to take it himself. They try to spread everybody out and let Carmine Garcia run, and he'll get about 5 yards on the run himself.
And Highland quickly calls a timeout right after that.
And Hillcrest, good decision from Mossholder, Coach Mossholder, to call. That's okay. To call the timeout with about 4th and 5. Skyline will kick and give Hillcrest time to maybe punch one more in or give the ball to Rylan Borgman to potentially kick a long field goal. So we talked about it was important, crucial for Skyline to use this clock wisely, and struggled there on that drive, Jesse.
They did. They had that first play, which was fine, and the clock kept running. They thought they saw something that they could open up a big play. So that second down play, they decided to throw the ball, and the incomplete pass caused the clock to stop.
And a quick update, I just found out that Thunder Ridge just took the lead. You mentioned Highland. Thunder Ridge just took the lead at Highland, leading 2016 with 1:05 to go before halftime. So Thunder Ridge making it a game against the defending champs from 5A and now 6A football, the Highland Rams. Nice sharp snap. Crockett makes a nice kick, and that's going to roll all the way. Can they get it inside the 10 before it rolls out of bounds? Into the end zone. They can, all the way to about the 3-yard line. Wonderful kick from Crockett.
Wow. And immediately Crockett makes up for the bad managed clock on that drive by, just an amazing punt. Pinning him down within the 5-yard line. And I imagine we might see Hillcrest come out and take a knee at this point. That's too much of a risk to go the whole field.
So if Hillcrest was licking their chops to maybe get within field goal range, maybe even get a touchdown, that's gone after that wonderful punt. 75-plus yards from Crockett. And that ball rolled and rolled and rolled some more, Jesse.
One of the best punts I've ever seen.
So Hillcrest will likely line up in a victory formation, kneel this ball, and go into halftime, only down 3.
Two. I think they're down 2. Yeah, 13-15.
Oh, excuse me, 13-15.
Scoreboard is a little deceiving. Almost looks like a 6 instead of a 5.
Not our scoreboard.
Not
so
ours.
Glad you all at home are watching on this scoreboard and not the Ravston scoreboard. So they'll hand it off. They won't victory formation. He'll get second level and tackled after an about 5-yard run. 30 seconds and counting to play in the half.
Pretty risky to run a play. I'm sure they're just glad there wasn't any type of fumble.
So they're going to, I think, let this play clock roll. Let the clock roll. It's at 5, and that will be it for the first half. As they go to their respective locker rooms, it's Skyline 15, Hillcrest 13. Grizzlies leading the Knights by 2. We'll take a quick break and be right back for a recap of the first half. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
This year,
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles, stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Your Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
All right, we're ready whenever you are.
Okay, 3-2. Oh, let's bring it to halftime. So change the scoreboard.
Yeah, already did.
Oh, good job. 3-2-1. Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens on the call for you tonight. Great rendition by the Skyline Marching Band, doing a little Bruno Mars tonight, Jesse. And it's been a groovy game so far, if you don't mind me saying. 15-13, Skyline Grizzlies lead the Hillcrest Knights only by 2. Let's do a quick game recap for you so far in the first half. First quarter with 9:50 to play, 7-yard touchdown catch by Zion Crockett from Carmine Garcia. The 2-point conversion was good. That was about an 80-yard drive from Skyline. And then no more scores in the first quarter, but the second quarter with 10:20 to play, 69-yard touchdown catch, by Zion Crockett, again from Carmine Garcia. PAT was good, putting them up 15-0 early in the second quarter. Got a little bit dicey there for Hillcrest, but Hillcrest does answer with 7:45 to play in the second quarter. 67-yard touchdown run from Tyson Sweetwood. Amazing run to watch, Jesse, as he beat a couple guys, got to the outside, and was able to beat a couple tacklers to the touchdown. Then the 2-point conversion was no good, bringing it to 15-6. And then right before the second half ended, with 1:50 to play, a 1-yard touchdown run by Titan Larson of Hillcrest, with the PAT good, got us to 15-13. Jesse, that's the score. But what have you seen so far from both teams?
So far it's been an interesting matchup because it's kind of been a tale of two quarters so far, with Hillcrest kind of dominating the second quarter with their offense. Obviously, Skyline in that first quarter that first drive, it was almost shocking how fast it all just unfolded. It went down and scored on that 80-yard touchdown drive. But so far, both teams, you can tell they're starting to figure each other out defensively and offensively. For example, Hillcrest figuring out the offense in that second quarter, and Hillcrest figuring out the defense in second quarter, how to stop Skyline's air raid big play attack.
Let's go over some of the keys to the game that we talked about in pregame. For Skyline, they wanted to get their playmakers into space and get those big plays going, like you mentioned, Justin. They've been able to do that tonight. And then they wanted to take care of the ball. No turnovers so far for Skyline, and establish the run. They have established the run, still not as strong as you would like it. Again, Amani Morel transferred to Rigby, no longer with the Skyline team. And they've had a couple running backs that have been doing work for Skyline, but not enough to really get that running game established. And then on defense, Skyline wanted to stop the Hillcrest QB rushing attack. Well, Tyson Sweetwood ran a 67-yard touchdown run there. So not so great stopping the QB rushing attack from Sweetwood. But defense also wanted to avoid the big plays and get blitzing going, which they've been able to do, but still a couple big plays left. So with those keys to the game, some doing well, some not so well. What have you seen? Anything more there from Skyline, Jesse?
Yeah, I think just like you mentioned, I think a lot of the plays they have been able to stop Sweetwood. He just had that one ginormous, like you said, 67-yard touchdown run. But it's going to be a lot in the trenches. I think that is a key to the game that we didn't highlight as much. The trenches defensively, making sure Hillcrest is not able to run the offense that they want to. You have to create that disruption on the offensive line to stop a run play or a pass play. Get Sweetwood into a place where he's uncomfortable, whether it be forcing him to run, which, I mean, he's comfortable running the football, but if you force him out of his comfort zone of where he wants to make a pass play, then that's what Skyline needs to focus on in this second half.
And then for Hillcrest, the key is the game that we talked about in pregame. They wanted to not allow any chunk plays. They wanted them to get a mix of blitzing and bending and not breaking defense, and then win the 1v1 matchups on the outside. How have they done tonight for the keys to the game in this first half?
I mean, just like we were talking about Skyline, it has been kind of like here and there, a little iffy here. I mean, obviously Skyline has been able to find their big playmakers on a couple plays, but obviously in the second quarter, they did a lot better preventing, especially Crockett, from breaking into. I mean, he did have that 69-yard touchdown pass reception, but for the most part, they have done well at keeping these playmakers in front of them.
So as we conclude this halftime show, Jesse, what can Hillcrest do to obviously not only they're only down 2, what adjustments can they make to get this lead and keep Skyline off the board?
Right. First, they have to get the lead, which will be difficult with Skyline's offense that is so explosive. So it's going to start with the defense. They're going to have to keep the game in front of them, as we saw that huge pass play down to Crockett. So it's going to start with the defense. They're going to have to keep Skyline in front of them and prevent them from scoring any more if they want to be able to win this game.
And if you're Skyline, you're up by 2. What do you do to keep the lead?
I think just keep establishing that run game. I know it's been a little bit difficult. They haven't had quite the push that they've been hoping for so far in this game, Joel, but establishing that run game and keeping it going and playing to win, not playing not to lose. That's a huge one that we see a lot of the times. You kind of get complacent and kind of forget that the other team is trying to win. So just trying to stay ahead and don't get complacent with the lead.
I like that. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You've been watching the East Idaho Game Night halftime show on IdahoSports.com. We'll be right back and share some scores from around high school football here in Idaho tonight. Stay with us. Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens. The 2 JRs on the call tonight. It's always a pleasure. A couple of scores from around Idaho tonight. At halftime, Salmon leads Orofino. This is 1A 8-man football. It's the first time that Idaho Sports has broadcasted a game at Salmon. Salmon leading Orofino, like I said, 8-7. Orofino only brought 15 players to the game.
What?
At halftime, Melba is down by 8 to North Fremont, 20-12. Good job there from a fellow East Idaho team, North Fremont. The Huskies doing work against Melba. And then at halftime, Thunder Ridge is leading Highland 20-16. Probably one of the more surprising scores, if not the most surprising score of the night. Checking also our Friday Night Flash. Madison, last time it was updated, Madison was leading Blackfoot 14-0. Not a lot of surprise there. Madison is a good team this year. Don't know if that 4-0 is a little overblown, if you will.
As pretty as it looks.
As pretty as it looks, good, yeah. And but they are leading Blackfoot at least 14-0. Timberline out in Boise leading Meridian 7-0. Cuna over Mountain View right now 21-7. Bora leading Owyhee 6-0. That's the game I'm watching as I chose Owyhee this week to win. And then Rigby playing West out of Utah, leading that game 7-0. Let's hit some more 5A action. Bishop Kelly leading Nampa 6-0. Caldwell getting beat by Valley View 20-0. Twin Falls leading Canyon Ridge 15-0. Homedale over Jerome 28-0 in the second quarter. Pocatello and Sandpoint tied in the fourth quarter 35-35.
Wow.
If you have any updates about that, hit us up. I'm at E1 Educador on X, at Joel H. Richardson on Instagram. Let us know if you have an updated score, as Pocatello and Sandpoint appear to be tied in the fourth quarter, 35-35. Preston leading Burley 21-0. And, of course, here at our game, Hillcrest down to Skyline 13-15. Let's go to 4A and see if there are any updates there. Star Valley in Wyoming leading Teton 13-0. Teton really needing their running back, Joyce, who's been out with an injury since the first game of the season. Filer leading Wood River 18-7. In 3A, North Fremont, we already mentioned that, leading 26 over Melba. Aberdeen leading Ryrie 14-6. And in 2A, Oakley leading Valley 14-16. A nice, a fun Magic Valley matchup there.
Those are fun teams to watch.
In the Snake River Conference. Oakley always fun, but struggling this year as they are on a losing streak. I believe it's 0-4. Shoshone beats Camas County 60-0. Shoshone playing good football this year as they surprised North Gem a few weeks ago, defeating the Cowboys, who are a favorite in 1A. And I was misspoken when I mentioned Orofino playing Salmon, as Salmon is 3A. I mentioned they were both 8-man 1A, 2A programs. And that's our Friday Night Flash from around Idaho football tonight. If you want to get more updated scores, you can go to IdahoSports.com, click on Friday Night Flash. We try to keep those scores updated as they come in. And thanks to all of you for sending those scores in so we can keep everyone else throughout the great state of Idaho updated. We'll take a quick break and be right back. You're watching East Idaho Game Night. Skyline, Hillcrest. Skyline leading Hillcrest 15-13 on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
It's not like a start.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson joined by Jesse Richens, the two JRs, bringing you this conference matchup. Skyline hosting the Hillcrest Knights as they come out with flames, breaking down the banner, high-fiving the Grid Kids. It was Grid Kid Night here. It is Grid Kid Night here at Ralston Stadium. All the future Skyline players looking at, their potential, what they can do as they high-five these high schoolers, these high school athletes. Again, Skyline leading Hillcrest 15-13. The lead is tenuous, but still a lead. Hillcrest will receive the ball when we start the second half. We talked about at the beginning of this broadcast, Jesse, some of the rankings for Hillcrest and Skyline. Hillcrest coming in, getting a few votes by media. When I say a few, I mean 8 by the media. For coaches, they're ranked number 3, though. And just watching this team to play tonight, they're somewhere in between 3 and those 8 receiving votes, Jesse.
Most definitely. They've been showing a lot of promise here on the field with Skyline, because Skyline is ranked in the media poll as number 2 and in the coaches poll number 1. So Hillcrest is showing that they are deserving of these votes because, again, Skyline, a very good team that just barely lost to Madison last week, and also losing to Morgan out of Utah. Both of those teams undefeated. So, again, Skyline, very good team. Hillcrest showing why they deserve votes.
And I think a lot of people were shy on Hillcrest because they lost 30-plus seniors. They graduated 30-plus, and so not as much depth potentially as last year. Talked to Coach Mossholder, and he agreed they don't have as much depth as they had last year. However, their JV went 8-1, and a lot of those kids that had that amazing record are now playing varsity. We've seen some of those kids playing tonight. Hillcrest have played Bonneville, Thunder Ridge, and Madison. They beat Bonneville and Thunder Ridge. They lost to Madison by 17 points. And as you heard from Jesse, Skyline lost to Madison last week by 1 point, lost to Morgan a few weeks before that. All that by a combined score of 7. So Skyline has kept their losses close. They blanked Blackfoot 40-0. So coaches and media respecting that from Skyline. But coaches and media still not quite sure what this Hillcrest team is, what they can do. But Hillcrest, as they're only down by a couple to a very good Skyline team, is showing that they are still here to play.
Right, and I think tonight will be a perfect performance, especially if Hillcrest can come out with a win to kind of show off that they deserve to be ranked in these polls. And I think what you said, Joel, earlier, how their JV team went 8-1, it goes a long way knowing how to win football games, even if it is at a lower level. When you have winners on your team, they know how to go out and get the job done. So, and we've seen that so far from Hillcrest. They're only down by 2 to this very, very good Skyline team.
And we talked to an AD recently, and that AD said when you have these teams that just lose a lot, you kind of get that into your psyche. And you can't help but think, oh, okay, we're losing again. Well, that's it, And so it's very important to have these teams, even these JV players who know how to win. So they come to varsity, and they know what it feels like. And when they're down, they know what it feels like to come back and get those victories. Again, this is a high country conference game, second conference game for both Hillcrest and Skyline, both 5A teams. Last year they were 4A, but as a few of the schools have grown in population. A few of the areas here in Idaho have grown in population. Others haven't, and they've definitely made their opinions known. But as the populations have grown, so have the classifications. So now Idaho has 6A, and so the bigger high schools have moved to 6A, and everyone else has moved up a classification, including the Skyline Grizzlies and the Hillcrest Knights, who are now playing 5A football here in the High Country Conference. Last time these two teams met was on November 10th. It was the semifinals. The winner punched their ticket to the state championship game, and it took a Hail Mary game winner for the Hillcrest Knights to punch that ticket to state, and they eventually lost to the Bishop Kelly in that state championship game at ISU. And here we go. Second half underway as the kick is up all the way to the end zone and will be a touchback. Nice start for Skyline, and Hillcrest Knights will take over as we start the third quarter. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens. I want to say Jesse Richardson. It's just much easier, Jesse. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens. Great to have you with us. The two JRs bringing you this conference game. It's been an epic one so far. We teased it would be an epic battle. Both of our Instagram accounts, Idaho Sports, said this was going to be a big game, and so far it's been tonight. Not as much offense as maybe we would have expected. Defense is playing well as it's 15-13. Skyline leads by 2. Hillcrest in the shotgun. Tyson Sweetwood, the starting quarterback. Sweetwood rolls to the near side, throws just over a Skyline defender, and pass is caught and completed by number 7. And that is Marcus Webster, the senior wide receiver. He's only 5'9", but he's 5'9", 160, but he's caught a couple passes tonight, Jesse.
I mean, 5'9", you got those. Your legs are a little bit closer to the ground. You could be pretty speedy at 5'9". So that's why he was able to find him on that crossing pattern.
So a 13-yard play to start the third quarter. They bring some pressure, and that pressure is a great call as they bring down the run, and he will go really nowhere. It looks like they're going to give him a yard, Jesse. Bring him 2nd and 9.
That's that forward progress. Good run. I mean, kept his feet even though he did get pushed back afterwards. But, I mean, you could see the determination in his feet.
So on the 34-yard line, 2nd and 9. They did give him about a yard, a short yard, but a yard nonetheless. And Skyline looking to bring pressure again. They do. Sweetwood trying to get out of there and makes a couple guys miss. Watch out. He can run, and he gets the first down, making a lot out of nothing. Great run by Tyson Sweetwood.
And that was just great awareness in the pocket by Sweetwood. I mean, as you could see at the bottom of your screen before the play, the ball was snapped. We saw an edge rusher. Could have been a corner. I believe it's either an outside linebacker or a corner. But Sweetwood had the awareness to see him out of the corner of his eye. And as soon as he got the snap, he stepped up into the pocket and took off. Great awareness.
Sweetwood is shifty. Has all the intangibles. Talked to Coach Mossholder this week and just can't say enough good things about his junior quarterback. Sweetwood 6'4", has a rocket of an arm. 5 wide, takes it himself, gets a nice block up ahead, and he runs out of bounds. And there it's flag, laundry on the field, and that is going to come back, Jesse. Likely another hold.
Yep, another one of those runs to the outside. That's the danger of running to the outside. As an offensive lineman, you do a little bit of grabbing when you're blocking, but it's hard when they're trying to run away from you. You have to know exactly when to let go so you don't get that holding call.
So it'll bring up 1st and 20. And they were at the 46, so we'll march them back to the 36-yard line.
Maybe this is something we haven't highlighted enough, is the penalties. I feel like Hillcrest has been kind of shooting themselves in the foot a lot throughout this game because of penalties.
And Skyline the same, as they gave Hillcrest easy field position to score that 1-yard touchdown late in the second quarter. Pass to the outside, it's a little screen, and Skyline reads it very well. And that'll be a gain of about 1 yard, bringing up 2nd and 19. So we talked about how the defense has been a highlight in this game tonight, and Skyline coming out in after that quick throw. Skyline not letting anything get past them, and even bringing some pressure in the start of this third quarter.
You love to see it when defenses start taking pride in their work, because defense is a lot of work in football. A lot of rules nowadays favor the offense, so playing defense is a lot harder in today's football.
Last week we had a few clock issues as it was the first home game for Skyline. And they're going to pick up the ball. And looks like they're moving the ball to the far hash.
I was a little confused why it was on the near side.
After that play, that made sense because they were tackled at the far hash. So still second and 19, 9:55 to go in the third quarter. Two and a half minutes played in this second half. Skyline almost jumps there. They jumped earlier in the first half. Sweetwood, quick drop and throw down the far sideline. That's completed and tackled. Big gain there for the Knights, all the way down to about the 33-yard line. Jace Judy on the catch.
And great job by that offensive line, giving Sweetwood the time that he needed. He kind of just sat back there, and when you give a quarterback that much time to read the defense, someone is bound to get open, especially if it's in a zone coverage. They're going to run through the zones and find an open space, and that's exactly what Sweetwood did with that throw.
So another chunk play by Hillcrest gets them on the other side of the 50-yard line. Run play outside, cuts inside, and we'll get a couple yards there. So Hillcrest continued to move that ball despite the holding call against them on their side of the field.
Again, just trying to get a quick run after the big play. Kind of have the defense on their heels after.
Skyline did that same call, Jesse, right, in the first quarter. And it worked very well for them as they ended up scoring a few plays later. 2nd and 8, ball on the 31-yard line. Hillcrest trying to get inside that red zone and take the lead. Sweetwood will take it himself. Nice B-gap run, gets a good block, and gets just shy of the first down at the 25-yard line.
I like how Hillcrest has been using the run to set up the QB run. It's been working really well for them. They'll hand it off, and then a couple plays later, Sweetwood will keep it, who probably is just as fast, if not faster, than their running back.
And he leads his team in rushing yards, I should say. 3rd and 2, ball on the 25-yard line. 8 minutes to play in this third quarter. Sweetwood examines the defense, takes the snap. It's an option to our near side. It's read well by Skyline's defense, and he's going to get – it's going to be a good play by the defense and a loss of a yard, Jesse. Bring up 4th and short. Decision time. Do they go for the field goal? Would be a long one.
You would take the lead with it, though.
But a made field goal would take the lead. First down would keep that touchdown hopes alive.
Looks like I see Sweetwood staying on the field, so looks like they're going to go for it here.
So big 4th down player, 4th and 4 to be exact. 7:56 to play. They line up quickly. Trips to the far side of your screen. Running back on his right hip. He takes it himself. Skyline reads it, and they're going to sack the quarterback. Turnover on downs by the Skyline defense, and they take pride in their work.
Great play defensively from Skyline. I mean, Hillcrest comes out, runs the option again, hoping to catch them on their toes a little bit. But, I mean, no dice. Skyline was ready, and you can tell they've been watching film all week long on how to defend the option play. This is a very difficult play to defend, but they've been prepared all week for it.
Great defensive stop by Skyline. Hillcrest will not score, and Skyline will take over on their own 31-yard line. 7:52 to play. 1st and 10. Carmine Garcia in the shotgun. Takes it himself. Nice block up the middle, just runs straight up. Great hole there from the offensive line of Skyline. You know, Skyline's offensive line didn't get much going on last week against Madison, but Skyline has had enough good runs, Jesse, that you see some improvement.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to keep running plays like that with a lot of misdirection. Obviously, there was a fake handoff, a little bit of a zone read. That's a good way to get your offensive line comfortable in a running scheme. That way they can the defense plays a little bit more confused, so they're not as sure when they're going up against those big offensive linemen.
2nd and 4, ball on the 37-yard line after a 6-yard scamper from Garcia. Garcia will take it again, and he'll get the first down, and then a little bit more. Nice move. Garcia was faking outside, cuts inside, makes a couple guys miss, and brings some tacklers with him on the first down run.
Again, it's that misdirection. We saw Crockett come in motion, and he draws all the eyes of the defenders because of his speed, whether it's a handoff or a pass. So that misdirection, again, worked for Carmine Garcia to run it right up the middle.
So Garcia's showing Sweetwood a little something, saying, oh, you can run. Let me show you my dance moves.
I got some legs as well.
Skyline on the 47-yard line, trying to get past that 50 and get into Knights territory. The light blue helmets on the offensive line, waiting the snap. A reverse play. Hillcrest reads it well, but makes something out of nothing is, I believe, Crockett. And the reverse was read really nicely by the outside linebacker, Jace Judy. But Crockett spins out of trouble and gets 1 yard on the run. You know, teams love to do that. They get within the 50-yard line after first down play. Let's do something big and see if we can score a quickie.
Yeah, and I definitely thought we were about to see a little bit of a flea flicker after the double reverse.
Which we saw last week.
Yeah, it was
Crockett
a fun
nailing
play.
Kirkham on the long throw, which that throw was perfect, by the way, last week from Crockett to Kirkham. So 2nd and 8. They gave him a 2-yard gain on that broken play. 5:40 to play. Handoff to the left side. Nice job by Ojeda to get some positive yards. That's the first time we've called Aaron Ojeda's name tonight, Jesse.
Yeah, they might be looking to get some fresh legs in there to run the football because, again, like we said earlier, they were struggling to run the ball a little bit earlier. But that time didn't look like that much of an issue as he picks up 4, forcing a 3rd down and 4 here for Skyline.
So Skyline gets past the 50-yard line into Knights territory, 5:39 to play, 3rd and 4. It's going to be another handoff. He cuts inside. Does he get the first down? Looks like he's going to be short. They're going to mark him 1 yard. Oh, the official on the near side gave him the first down. I was watching the official on the far side, and he marked him short, but the official on the near side, who had the better eyes, marked him just at the first down. Looks like we have an injured player in the field. We'll take a quick break and step aside and be right back. You're watching East Idaho Game Night. Skyline playing host to Hillcrest conference game. Stay with us.
We're Valley-wide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. That was Kyler Christensen, number 57, the defensive lineman, who was a little shaken up on the play, but comes off the field
under his own power.
Under his own power, so hopefully he's okay. And Skyline will take over a fresh set of downs after that 3rd and 4 run. And it'll be 1st and 10 Skyline on the 43-yard line. So a couple quick running plays from Skyline, and perhaps they're finally getting their running game going. A nice handoff inside. Garcia pretended to take off, but he ended up handing that ball off inside. We see that play a lot these days. NFL kind of got that one going. The Chiefs are very famous for doing that. And I've seen it both at the 8-man level at Grace. Grace Grizzlies ran that play a ton in their first opening game. And we've seen that a few times now from Skyline in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost the voice of Skyline. We get called up to do these games a lot, and we love it. I mean, great stadium. We love Ravston. They treat us really well. But, yeah, that play is so fun to watch. That that counter handoff, the counter delay. It's a really fun one.
The snap is up, and it's a handoff to the outside. There's going to be a hold. That one's coming back. Nice run there from number 6, Liam Lynch. But he was open. It was a great run because of that hold, Jesse.
Yeah, he got an easy first down there. May have been easy because of the hold, though, and that's why the referees are down there.
So 4:29 to play in the third quarter. Grizzlies continue to lead 15-13, holding on to this lead and just trying to get inside the red zone. And the officials are discussing the call. We figured it was a hold, but we will wait for the official call from the Stripes.
Yeah, it looks like they're still having a little discussion over there in the top left corner of your screen.
We've mentioned the running game from Skyline. Aaron Ojeda and Liam Lynch have gotten more calls up, have gotten more reps on the ball, both in the first and second quarters, both in the first and second halves, as they do show holding Skyline. But it's a face mask also on Hillcrest, and those penalties are offset. And we will replay first down, Jesse.
Yeah, it's a nice break to catch if you're Skyline.
So going back to that run game, watch for number 6, Liam Lynch, or number 26, Aaron Ojeda. Those are your two running backs that have been getting the reps with those more traditional run games, more traditional run plays, of course. And, of course, Zion Crockett, a lot of those sweeps and option plays. Zion Crockett gets called up for those.
Yeah, a lot of motion and misdirection that Skyline likes to cause on the offensive line.
Watch Trey Kirkham at the bottom of your screen, single coverage, but could be a run play. And they pitch it to this left near side, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Nice tackle there from number 32, Dax Sargent, the middle linebacker, leads the team in tackles this season. You know, Dax Sargent, he talking to Coach Mossholder, Sargent makes the play calls on defense.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Only a junior. Obviously, you've heard his name called a lot as he plays running back. He's number 38, so watch for him to make big plays on both offense and defense, as we've called his name, like we said, a few times this game. 3:28 and counting to play. Skyline leading Hillcrest by 2. 2nd and 11, ball on the 31-yard line. Carmine Garcia fakes the handoff, and he'll take it himself, and he will get about 3 yards. Oh, excuse me, they're going to mark him well short. Yeah, just inside the 30-yard line. So bring up 3rd and about 8 for Skyline. What do you call here, Jesse?
Oh, something to Crockett for sure. Crockett is your playmaker. We haven't seen a lot of him here in this in the second half. Obviously, they just tried to run that pitch play with him, but I would run a little bit of a motion where he comes across the field into like a corner route. I mean, he's just so speedy. I don't know how you're supposed to guard him. So I imagine they'll be drawing up a play for Crockett here.
Watch for number 11, Taylor DeMott on the outside. Puts a man in motion. Is Carmine Garcia. It's a screen play, and that play is blown up. Skyline wants a hold, but no calls, and that's going to bring up 4th and 9 for Skyline. So a blown up play by Hillcrest. Obviously, it was a screen play. They let the defensive line in, and the linebackers got the pressure, but the receivers were not ready for such a quick release from the offensive line.
And again, I understand wanting to use your top playmaker as a distraction, but I think it would have been great that time to go to Zion Crockett. They used him as a little bit of a distraction on the motion across the middle of the field.
So this would be a 46-yard field goal, so no field goal kick here. And they will go for it on 4th and 9, ball on the 29-yard line. Garcia in the shotgun. Receivers, 3 receivers at the top of your screen. He rolls to his left, and he's going to be almost sacked, but the ball is up. His player is open, will be caught. It will be. Touchdown, Grizzlies.
On a broken play, too. As you saw Garcia, he kind of rolled out to his left, saw nothing there, and he had to come back to his right. Man, I thought he was going to get sacked for sure back there. But when he went back to his right, he saw Crockett open down the field and just launched it. What a throw, kind of off of his back foot there.
As the kick is up, it's a poor snap, but the kick is up and the kick is good. Now Skyline increases their lead by 9, leading 22-13. And as Jesse said, what a great scramble from Carmine Garcia, and finds Trey Kirkham in the end zone. That ball was thrown just far enough, but just far enough that Kirkham could receive it before his defender got to him and before Kirkham ran out of bounds.
Yeah, no, it was just such an awesome play. I mean, honestly, when I first saw him throw it, I thought it was just kind of a throwaway, but all of a sudden he had his receiver down there in the end zone. Just awesome execution.
So those home run plays continue to work for Skyline. And we saw this a similar play last week when Grizzlies were playing Madison. Carmine Garcia had to, remember that low snap, picked up the ball, rolled to it, our near side here, and got the throw up to, again, I believe it was Trey Kirkham who caught that touchdown last week, who got them within one.
Yeah.
And they went for the 2-point conversion and failed. But very similar play, kind of broken play. Carmine Garcia making something out of nothing, and that's a winner play, Jesse.
It is. It is amazing to see players that react so well in those situations. You don't see that every day in everyday players. But Carmine Garcia, we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now, and he's got what the kids call the clutch gene. He knows what kind of situation he's in, and he makes the play.
So as the kick goes to the end zone, and another great special teams kick from Skyline, Hillcrest will take it at the 20-yard line. Sweetwood back to pass. He feels pressure. He throws the ball away, and that's going to go out of bounds. Great pressure from Skyline. Beautiful moon. As we're watching that play, Jesse, if you could bring that camera up and see that harvest moon right up there you see on your screen. We're getting into late September. The weather's been fantastic here in East Idaho. Warm days, cooler nights, and that beautiful moon in the distance as the clock hits 9 o'clock here in Idaho Falls. Rafston Stadium, the home of the Skyline Grizzlies tonight. Hillcrest trying to catch up as they were down 2, now find themselves down 9. Hand off the ball up the middle, breaking tackles. And that defensive line is the weakness of Skyline. Talking to Coach Berger, he's in his 16th season as the Skyline Grizzlies head coach, and he was flat out straight up. He said, our secondary is our strong suit, linebackers maybe even stronger, but our defensive line is our weak spot.
Yeah, and I'm sure he says that as a motivation to his team to step up. It's a traditional way of motivating your team, but it can work.
3rd and 3, Sweetwood in the shotgun. 3 receivers. Fakes the handoff. And he rolls and he throws to the outside. They're going to call that incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th and 3 with 1:27 to play in the 3rd quarter. It's getting a little late, Jesse.
It is. It's getting late. Like you said, 1:27 left. Decision time for Hillcrest. They have to decide whether they can trust their defense to hold Skyline or go for it here on 4th and 3.
They receive the play from the sideline. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do a hard count here, Jesse. See if they can get Skyline to jump. They've gotten him to jump twice. Well, once, and they almost got him to jump a second time. later on in that second quarter. So they're going for it, 4th and 3. And Sweetwood will take it himself, has a nice blocker, gets out to the outside. Will he get in for a first down? Looks like they give him the good spot, and he should get the first down.
And it's kind of a game of cat and mouse here. I mean, like you said, Joel, you were expecting the hard count there. And as a defense, when you have it in your mind that, oh, this guy's drawn us off sides a couple times, you're kind of preparing for it. And all of a sudden when the ball is actually snapped, you're like, oh. So, a little bit late reaction to the football, and Sweetwood's able to pick up the first down.
Coach Mossholder said they got to win the 1v1 matchups on the outside. They did just that, allowing Sweetwood to get that first down. 3 receivers. Sweetwood takes a snap. He throws long. His player is open, and that's caught, completed. Jace Judy gets it all the way to the 46-yard line. First down, Hillcrest.
Great, easy throw for Sweetwood there. It looks like he's been doing that every single day in the offseason, and I'm sure he has been finding Jace Judy on that corner route.
That was single coverage from Paxton Nolf, the DB, the senior DB, and that play has been open. Nolf was there, but Jace Judy was just there a little bit more, had just enough space while Nolf was in the neighborhood to make that catch. So good coverage, but better route running from Jace Judy. Sweetwood's got 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Takes the snap. Quick drop, does a little fake, pump, throws it high, and that's going to be incomplete. No flag. And Coach Mossholder wants a flag there as he felt like the DB. Well, the DB wasn't turned around, Jesse, but that throw was short as we have some extracurricular after the play. Mossholder was fired up, and a player fell to the ground.
Not sure what kind of looked like a little bit of a flop. I don't know. I mean, coach probably shouldn't be touching other players anyway, but wow, that was quite an event.
So as we wait for cooler heads to prevail, we'll wait for the call. We'll look for the call from the officials.
It almost seemed like the Skyline defender who broke up the pass was jawing a little bit at the receiver.
Yeah, he was definitely signaling to their sideline, incomplete, incomplete. Meanwhile, Mossholder was arguing with the official that they wanted the pass interference. And then a Skyline player fell to the ground. Whether it was a flop or not, he fell to the ground, and the flags flew just after that.
Wow.
So hopefully it's nothing too significant. You hate to see when coaches or players are ejected from games.
That's probably exactly what the officials are discussing.
So the officials are going to the Hillcrest sideline to discuss their call. And the official will go, another official will go to the Skyline sideline to discuss the call with Skyline. And there you see the referee talking to Skyline officials. I believe that's A.D. Wadsworth. Grateful to him for his help tonight in bringing this game to you here at Ravston Stadium. And the Hillcrest offense is brought back to the 40-yard line, huddling up with their coach. And a lot of clapping from Skyline. Looks like the officials will call an unsportsmanlike conduct against Hillcrest.
And Skyline players still
and still clapping, still jawing towards the visiting team's fans and bench. And they'll march them all the way back to the 39-yard line, Jesse.
Wow. Making it 2nd and 25. And don't be surprised if we see more jawing throughout the night.
As you see the referees talking to both lines who are in the trenches battling play after play. But ironically, they're not the ones who are causing the problems. But the secondary celebrating and a reaction to that celebration. So 2nd and 25 on the 39-yard line. 44 seconds to play in this third quarter, eventful third quarter. The blitz comes. It's a screen play. And nice yards after catch to get it all the way to the 50-yard line. So great positive play on the 2nd and long as the clock will likely run out and will bring us to the fourth quarter.
Give them some time to cool down a little bit after who knows what happened.
And the officials stop the play, stop the clock, as it looks like Skyline calls a timeout with 15 seconds to play. So they lose a timeout as the clock was running down. So interesting call there, but probably want to make sure that nothing gets past them, that they allow their cooler heads to prevail and not allow a big play to send them into the fourth quarter, Jesse. But we'll take a quick break and step aside for this timeout. Well, actually, no, Jesse, let's recognize a sponsor from Levitt Select.
Levitt Select is locally operated with locations in Rexburg, Rigby, Idaho Falls, Twin Falls, and Boise. Levitt's mission is to help our community by providing policies personalized to each consumer's needs. The community they work and live in is their #1 priority.
A quick huddle and throw from Tyson Sweetwood, double covered. And that's picked off, bounced off his fellow DB. Looks like it bounced off his helmet, Jesse. And Skyline intercepts the ball inside the just outside the 10-yard line.
And interesting decision from both sides. I mean, first you have the timeout from Skyline right before the quarter breaks, and then a very ill-advised throw into triple coverage down the left side of the field that resulted in that interception. And just like you said, Joel, I think it bounced off the DB's helmet, and great awareness by the Skyline defense to track down the ball in the air and come down with the interception.
I didn't see who caught it, but man, we're going to call that a group interception, as like Jesse said, looked like the ball bounced off of Skyline at the DB's helmet and caught by the other corner. Tyson Sweetwood, that's his second interception thrown of the game, and both those interceptions were thrown into tight coverage. So with 6 seconds to play in the third quarter, Skyline takes over with a lot of grass, or a lot of turf in front of them. Garcia takes the snap and hands it off. Cuts inside. Nice run there by Lynch to get some great space, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter with a second and short. Skyline leads 22-13 over the Hillcrest Knights with the ball. We'll take a quick break, recognize some sponsors, and be back for the exciting conclusion of this conference matchup. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
At all our local Teton dealerships, we're committed to our no problem philosophy.
No problem means we'll find it, not we don't have it.
No problem means the same fair prices that we've always offered on our new vehicles.
Because when you shop with us, it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicles.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. We mentioned the moon earlier. Beautiful moon tonight. It has risen even higher as the night wears on. We're past 9 o'clock. Skyline leading as we start the fourth quarter, 22-13. Hillcrest Knights throw an interception into double coverage. Skyline receives it off the helmet of a fellow DB. Then on 1st and 10 in their own goal line, Skyline is able to run the ball out and get to 2nd and 1 as we start the fourth quarter. Garcia in the shotgun. 4 receivers, puts a man in motion. That's Lynch in motion. He'll take it himself, has some blockers, bounces to the outside. He cuts inside and keeps pushing, and there's going to be a hold in the backfield. That one's coming back, Jesse.
The Grizzlies have found something that they really like. They've started running a lot with Carmine Garcia. But like you said, that time there's a holding, and that's going to push them back very deep into their own side of the, probably within the 5.
And that was a hold, looked like on Zion Crockett. Zion Crockett committed the holding penalty there, kind of looking at the officials like, I let go when he moved. But ended up pancaking, I believe. And they call that a hold. So just 8 minutes down in this fourth quarter, and we get a run to the outside by Carmine Garcia, but negated by a holding penalty. So ball on the 7-yard line. So 2nd and 8, ball on the 7. They come out of the huddle. Garcia's in the shotgun with Lynch on his left hip. 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Puts Crockett in motion, hands it off to Crockett. He tries to cut inside, and he ends up falling over forward. That's what you want to see from your runners. Whether they're running backs or receivers, you want to fall forward. And he gains a couple.
Yeah, it's just great effort to, like you said, Joel, fall forward. That's what you want to do when you have the football. You don't want to be pushed backwards. If you can fall forward, you get those yards. If you get pushed backwards, you kind of just stay where you are, the forward progress.
Skyline up 9. Last week lost to Madison by 1 after a failed 2-point conversion. This would be their second. This is their second conference game of the season. Would be their second conference win of the season, and they would take sole control of first place in the High Country Conference. Puts his man in motion. Garcia takes the snap, and he will run himself, but looks like that's going to be a delay of game as it took a while to get that play going.
I think you might be right, as there's an injury on the field.
Hillcrest player down. And that's if that delay of game is correct, it will bring a 3rd and 9 inside the 10-yard line. So the Grizzlies offense kind of stalled, and we'll take a quick break for an injury. We'll be right back. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens bringing you this conference matchup. After the play, that was Brody Dorning who came off a little hobbled. Plays running back and defensive end only a sophomore, but playing really good minutes tonight for Hillcrest. The officials talking with the AD once again.
Oh, and Hillcrest didn't take the penalty.
And
so
Hillcrest, yep, they declined the penalty, bringing up 4th and 4. So Skyline will punt the ball away. This is Zion Crockett back to punt. Low snap. And he kicks a good one. It's a boomer. Takes a Skyline / Hillcrest roll. Kind of wanted to roll Skyline way, but ended up kind of stalling right there on the 44-yard line. So not a great punt from Crockett. It was high, but didn't go as far as he would have liked. Didn't get that roll either, Jesse.
Yeah, and Hillcrest is going to start out with some great field position. This is exactly what they needed if they want to get back in this game with 10-17 left. They're going to have to start scoring. They're down by 9. That's obviously 2 possessions. So they're going to have to figure out what they're doing on offense.
An update from the Highland Thunder Ridge game. Highland just scored a nice run up the far sideline to make it 30-27. So Thunder Ridge had scored with 10:52 left to play. They were up 4, but Highland answers, and now Highland up 3. Sweetwood in the shotgun. Running back on his right hip. Takes the snap. We had trips to the right. Throw across the middle, and he's tackled for a gain of about 1. Nice heads-up play there. That pass was completed to number 3, Titan Larson. Great tackle there from the secondary. From the linebackers.
Yeah, great heads-up play, keeping their head on a swivel on those drag routes. Those can be dangerous routes because you can get up to speed on those. So, just like you said, great vision by the linebackers. 2nd
and 9, 9:44 to play in the game. Ball on the 42-yard line, pass to the outside, a little West Coast offense, and he's brought down. Great open field tackle there. I believe that was number 21 on the tackle, Will Jensen.
There was a little bit of complaining from the fans down here below. There was a little bit of extracurricular after the play.
It was a solid block. The guy went flying, but it was a solid block from Hillcrest, not knowing the play was dead. 3rd and 3, 9:08 and counting to play. Hillcrest needing to score here to stay in this game. Fake handoff. Ty Sweetwood takes it himself, but nice tackle there from Skyline's defense. A number of guys there on the tackle. I'm trying to find who was there first.
Searle.
That was number 8, Lincoln Searle, the senior linebacker, making a great play. Came up a little hobbled there after the tackle, but wrapped up Tyson Sweetwood to make sure he couldn't go anywhere, then got some help from his fellow linebackers. 4th and 4, 8:32 to play. Sweetwood back to pass, throws, nice reception there, and nice read from Sweetwood. That's going to be a 1st down, Hillcrest.
That was a nice route there, just a nice quick comeback route, or curl route, if you will. And it was a great throw from Sweetwood just to get the ball out as fast as he could. Those curl routes can be very difficult to stop because you think the guy's running a go or a fly right up to the end zone, but turns right around and makes the catch.
Great catch by Mason Saunders. Great read from Sweetwood. Sweetwood, another throw to the outside, and that's just completed before being tackled. But that's going to be a nice gain of about 4 or 5 yards. So Hillcrest marching and getting just outside the red zone.
And that time the ball not getting out there quite as quick as the last one. Would have made for a better play had the ball gotten there quicker, but still able to pick up 4.
So 2nd and 6 on the 21-yard line, 7:40 to play. Sweetwood takes the snap. Little shimmy, runs the outside, runs to his own player, and he falls down. Looks like he did get a gain of 1 there, Jesse, but ran into his own lineman and ended up tripping and falling to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it all game. Sweetwood, great with his feet, just a little harder when your own teammates can't see you. And sure enough, he runs into his left tackle when he's trying to sprint out and makes him stumble and fall to the ground.
So third.
Lost 2, I think.
They lost 2. So excuse me, I was watching the markers and not
Right.
watching where they had started the ball. So ball on the 24-yard line, loss of a couple. 3rd and 9, big third down play here, but of course this is 4-down territory for Hillcrest. Sweetwood examines the defense. He's got trips at the top of your screen. Takes the snap, quick drop. He takes it himself up the middle, but he's wrapped up. Nothing going there for Sweetwood. That's going to bring up 4th and long. Skyline defense responding, Jesse.
Yeah, there is a decision to be made here because you could take the field goal. It'll put you within 1 possession of the lead, and I think that is what they are going to do.
Take the points.
Yep, take the points while you can.
They didn't do it earlier, and they ended up throwing that interception.
Exactly.
So this is going to be a 41-yard field goal, of course, add 17 to wherever they're at. Here comes Borgman, the soccer player. Borgman right there in the middle of both hashes. Waits the snap. It's a good snap. It's a good kick. And it's good right through the uprights. Borgman with 3 points.
Wow, that was a great kick. That's a lot. That's not easy to do. A lot of people think it looks easy because you're not down there doing it, but man, he made it look pretty easy though. Great kick by Borgman.
So a 41-yard field goal.
Wow.
By Borgman. His longest is 45, and he's hit from 55 in practice. And that one went right through the uprights. Had plenty of distance too, Jesse.
No, that was absolutely fantastic. I think he definitely could have made that from even a little further back.
No doubt. 22-16, 1 possession ball game. Skyline will wait to receive the kickoff with 6:01 to play, leading by 6. So after that punt, the Skyline's punt wasn't great. Gave Hillcrest positive field advantage, but Skyline's defense bended a little bit but didn't break and was able to stall Hillcrest to force them to kick that 41-yard field goal. But Hillcrest does hit the field goal. Great shot there from Borgman. And Hillcrest will kick off. Wonder if we'll see an onside kick here, Jesse.
Could be.
And no, it's a big boomer, end over end, and goes even outside the end zone, Jesse. Impressive kick there from Borgman.
As if he didn't need to show off even more.
So Rylan Borgman, the junior kicker, he's 6'4", 195. He must be a menace on the soccer field when you're that tall and you have that big of a leg. I don't know why I did that. I'm actually more excited than cold.
Oh, okay.
So with 6:01 to play, the Grizzlies up 6. What do? You keep punching it, right? You play to win. You don't play to lose, Jesse.
Exactly. You need to play your offense how you started the game, which was working amazingly for Skyline, and they just got to keep it up.
So Carmine Garcia taking over once again with this offense. Hands it off to Lynch. Lynch goes nowhere. Great defensive effort there from Hillcrest. And looks like he's going to lose about 2 yards on the play.
And see, this is where it gets a little scary. If you're just going to try and play too conservatively, you're going to give Hillcrest the ball back with
plenty of time on the clock.
More time than they need.
5:30 to play.
And then if Hillcrest gets the ball, the clock is in their advantage if they can go down and score. And they can run out the time, leaving Skyline no time to run an offensive drive.
2nd and 12. 3 receivers on the top of your screen. Garcia takes the snap. Has plenty of time, has to run to his near side. Throws that ball, and that's going to be incomplete, just short of the wide receiver. The pass was intended for Trey Kirkham. And good pressure getting to the backfield was that Hillcrest defense, bringing up 3rd and long, Jesse. So nervous time for Skyline and their fans as they're only up 6. What does Skyline draw up here?
Again, I feel like they have gone away from Crockett. We have not seen him a lot here in the second half. They have to look his way here. Their best playmaker.
Hillcrest fans making their presence known. 3rd and 12, here comes the play. Garcia rolls to his left, near side. He throws, that's gonna be almost intercepted. Pass was intended again for Kirkham. That play was open before. They thought they would try it again, but that, again, the throw was just short of Kirkham, and that'll bring up 4th and long. The punting team is out, and Hillcrest will have a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, it's football is a game of emotions, and I mean, if we remember earlier, there was a lot of extracurricular going on over there, and it makes you wonder if the emotions that flared over there kind of shifted the momentum towards Hillcrest.
So Crockett counts the players. After counting, he pushes his guy off, signals him to get off. That's Victor Rivera coming in, then going out. Crockett takes the snap, gets a kick up, and that's going to bounce just on the Hillcrest side of the 50-yard line. So a better kick than last time, but still not far enough. And Hillcrest will have good field position to start this drive with 4:52 left to play in the 4th quarter. And Jesse, let's recognize one of our sponsors. I'll go ahead and read that. Experience radiant, youthful skin and elevate your self-care routine with the help of Cleopatra's Secret in Idaho Falls. Dive into their exclusive range of luxurious skincare and wellness products inspired by the secrets of ancient royalty. Find them at 1775 East 17th Street, Suite B in Idaho Falls, or online at www.cleopatrasecrets.net. Let your beauty reign at Cleopatra's Secret. Appreciate all of our sponsors here bringing this game to you live and free tonight. As Tyson Sweetwood is in trouble, he's got a lot of pressure. He tries to roll out of it, and he will get sacked for a loss of about 1 yard. Every time Skyline's offense hasn't been able to answer, their defense has done their job, Jesse.
And I'm sure Scott Berger is glad to see his defensive line getting through and getting some of these sacks. We've been seeing, we talked about the keys of the game earlier, stopping the running ability of Sweetwood. And so far in the second half, they have done a very good job defensively stopping that run.
Scott Berger in his 16th season has said that his defensive line is not the strength of his team, but they've been playing well tonight. Can they finish? 4 minutes to play. 2nd and 11. Sweetwood fakes the handoff. It's a little play action. Great coverage from Skyline. That's number 22 for Skyline. Gage Searle has had a great game tonight.
He has. He has been causing mayhem all over the field. He's gotten multiple tackles, and his coverage has been spectacular, to say the least.
Right there on his player, a bit of a hand on the waist, and was able to swat that ball away as it was coming in hot right into the pocket. So 3rd and 11, ball on the 47-yard line. 3:57 to play in this game. Can Skyline get the stop here? Of course, this is 4-down territory for the Knights as they're down 6. Sweetwood examines the defense. 4 wide. Rolls to the far side. He throws, and that's incomplete. Will there be a flag? No flags. Another great defensive play by the corners, Jesse.
Yeah, and Coach Berger, like you said, he was talking about the strength of his defense. He said his linebackers and his defensive backs are his best positions on the field defensively, and they have been showing out here tonight.
That was Gage Searle once again. They're going after Gage Searle, but he is answering the call. Coach Scott Berger is really enjoying this his secondary's play. That's why there's 2 of us, Jesse.
Yeah.
Keep each other on. His 4th and 11. 3:51 to play. This could be the game, folks. Can Hillcrest get to the 41-yard line? Sweetwood takes the snap, rolls to the far side. It's going to be an opposite, and that's almost intercepted. Ball is tipped in the backfield. And it'll be a turnover down. Skyline defense answers the call.
Wow. Great job by that defensive line. I couldn't tell if it's a defensive line. I imagine it was, that came in and put the hands up to stop that screen play that they were trying to run. Just great play defensively.
The screenplay was called. The linemen were allowed in. They came in super hot, and Sweetwood tried to throw that ball up. His man was open, but the ball was blocked, and I thought it was going to be intercepted, but those linemen had no idea where the ball was. Ball falls to the ground, incomplete. 1st and 10, Skyline takes over with 3:47 to play, and a big cheer from the Skyline faithful as they've got to feel good about this game and how it may be ending. Up 6. We'll see if Skyline can finish this one out. Garcia takes the snap and takes the ball himself. Cuts inside. Nice run there from Carmine Garcia. It's a gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd and 5. Of course, the last time these two teams played, Jesse, was that semifinal game. Hillcrest won off the Hail Mary. So if you're a Skyline fan, you're loving this score and this potential outcome.
Right, but there's definitely still time. I can't remember if Hillcrest has used any timeouts so far. I'm not 100% sure on that one. And thanks to our friends right next door.
Probably heard you question, and they sent their answer. Our radio friends next door, 3 timeouts for Hillcrest. So if they do get this ball back, they could use that clock to their advantage. We'll see what Skyline can do to keep that from happening. Garcia under center. Haven't seen that much tonight. Hands it off. That's Crockett. Bounce to the outside, and he's tackled. Will he get the first down? He will be marked just beyond that first down marker. First down, Skyline.
And I'm liking the time management by Hillcrest so far. They didn't use a timeout on that last run. They know how much time they have left. And it would have been a risk using it right there since it was 2nd and 5. They did have that good first down run. So now it will be 1st and 10. I think the clock stopped because he went out of bounds.
Went out of bounds. Yep, it was the first down and he went out of bounds. So clock stopped to move the chains, but he also went out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a killer.
So 2:44 to play. Grizzlies up on the Knights, 22-16. Garcia under center once again. It'll be a hand up to the left side this time. Nice Crockett. Bounces out, cuts inside, and he gets several more yards inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, now that's going to be about 2nd and 3.
So those offensive linemen, Daxton Perkins, Dylan Meek, Trey Blue, and a bevy of other linemen have been doing a great job getting pushed late in this game.
Yeah,
almost like they've gotten better as the game has gone on, Jesse.
They sure have. They're getting those running lanes that weren't there in the first half. We talked a lot about how they were trying to establish early on, but it's come later.
Again, under center. We haven't seen this all game until now on this drive. Handoff again. Crockett gets the outside. He's got speed, but he's shoestring tackled. But he does get a couple yards. Nice tackle there from Creighton Neild. And Hillcrest takes their first timeout of the half. They'll have 2 more remaining with 1:45 to play. They're down 6. Nice decision there, Jesse, to call that timeout.
No, that's great clock management. I feel like, honestly, sometimes, Joel, when I watch the NFL, I feel like time management is almost forgotten. It's almost crazy sometimes. So I'm glad to see head coach making the calls over there for this good timeout. I mean, it's 3rd down and 1. You still have 2 left. So if you get a stop here, you can call 1 more, and you've forced them to a 4th down.
Coach Brendan Mossholder in his 4th season. First time where he's had, his seniors when he's coached them all the way up from freshman all the way to senior year. Very exciting year for Hillcrest. But unfortunately, they did lose 30-plus seniors. And Mossholder didn't hold back. He said, look, we lost depth. But a lot of those seniors and juniors this year that are playing varsity. Played JV last year and went 8-1. And Mossholder high on his team. But let's see if they can hold Skyline's push to finish this game. 3rd and 1, ball on the 27-yard line. Garcia under center once again. Hands it off. And that's first down and then some. Breaks a couple tackles. He'll get in. 10, 5, touchdown, Zion Crockett.
Wow. Once again, we were talking about establishing the run the entire game. And all of a sudden, as Hillcrest, when you know they're going to run the football, you cannot stop them. That is just great effort and heart from that Skyline offensive line to create those holes for Crockett, especially on that huge, huge touchdown run.
28-16, the lead is now up to 12. And waiting for the call from Skyline. Will they go for 1 or 2?
With the amount of time left, there's really no reason to go for 2.
Unless you want to get those reps in, Jesse.
I guess, yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Because looks like they are going for 2. We answered our own question. But yeah, when you're up by 12, or excuse me, yep, 12. I was right the first time. I should trust my math more often.
Yeah, good reps for if you need to run a 2-point play.
Because they missed their 2-point conversion last week. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout called as they were set up by Skyline. We'll recognize our sponsors one more time from Levitt Select.
Levitt Select is locally operated with locations in Rexburg, Rigby, Idaho Falls, Twin Falls, and Boise. Levitt's mission is to help our community by providing policies personalized to each consumer's needs. The community they work and live in is their #1 priority. As such, they offer a wide range of insurance products and companies able to take care of their community's assets. Levitt Select in Idaho Falls wants to be your insurance professionals. Please call them today at 208-522-2582. Levitt Select Insurance, here for all your insurance needs.
Experience radiant, youthful skin and elevate your self-care routine with the help of Cleopatra's Secret in Idaho Falls. Dive into their exclusive range of luxurious skincare and wellness products inspired by the secrets of ancient royalty. Find them at 1775 East 17th Street, Suite B in Idaho Falls, or online at cleopatrasecrets.net. Let your beauty reign at Cleopatra's Secret. So as they get set for the 2-point conversion, with 1:37 to play after a 27-yard touchdown run from Crockett, Carmine Garcia was under center, handed that ball off, and Crockett took off through that B gap. We get a throw that's going to go nowhere. Had to throw that ball away. 2-point conversion fails, but the touchdown still does the damage as the Grizzlies lead by 12 with 1:37 to play. Next week, Hillcrest will be at home at their new stadium, Westmark Stadium. Grateful to Westmark Credit Union for making that happen. Hillcrest will host Shelley, the Shelley Russets, and Shelley having a good season so far. And Skyline next week will be here one more time at against Idaho Falls for the Emotion Bowl. Jesse, you and I will be there next Saturday. And that should be a great game, a great Emotion Bowl. Idaho Falls better than last year. We saw them play against Pocatello, gave Pocatello a scare. Pocatello ended up winning that game, created some space in that fourth quarter, but Idaho Falls, a much improved team from last year.
Yes, much, much better. I remember watching some games last season, but it should make for a fun Emotion Bowl. And at the end of that game, whoever wins, they get to decide.
That's right.
What the color of they get to paint the goalposts in their colors. So as you can see right now, the Grizzlies have their light blue as a goalpost as they won the Emotion Bowl last season.
Kick is up, and it's a bit shorter, taken at the 15-yard line with a head of speed, but he's met. Nice group tackle in there, and he gets to the 30-yard line. to start this drive with 1:29 to play. When you're down 12, Jesse, what do you call here? Do you try to, obviously you play to win, but you got to get some home run plays. And Skyline knows that, and so they're going to be playing prevent, going to play soft, so you can really open up that 10, 15-yard field in the middle.
Exactly. This is a pretty hard situation to play in. Obviously, you're down to a minute 30 left in the game. I mean, just like you said, you got to find those soft spots because you are playing to win still, but it's very difficult to play against a defense that knows you're going to throw the ball every down.
And a quick update from the Highland Thunder Ridge game. Highland scores again 37-27 with 2:25 to play. Highland should win that game against Thunder Ridge, but great game from Thunder Ridge. So here we go, Hillcrest at the 30-yard line. Skyline playing a bit softer in that secondary. A fake handoff, it's going to be a screen play, and he's tackled out of bounds. Judy goes out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock. Nice decision there. And he gets to about the 37-yard line. So clock, barely any time off that clock. 1:26 to play.
Yeah, but if you're Skyline, you like those plays. You like that they're just going to take the dink and dunks. I mean, they're still going to have to waste some time getting those plays off. So as Skyline, you're kind of okay with those for the moment.
And the final score, Highland does win that game 37-27. So Highland remains unbeaten this season as they are on their quest to repeat as 6A champions. Of course, last year they won as 5A. Sweetwood with the snap. He's going to throw long, and that's a double covered secondary, and that's going to be incomplete. Ended up being triple covered there, Jesse. So they did go for that home run play, and their receiver, he had his man, but the two other guys came over, and that ended up being incomplete from Hillcrest as we have an injured player on the field. We'll wait to see his status. So as Skyline likely wins this game, they will claim sole possession of first place in the 5A High Country Conference. And we just got word that Shelley just defeated Century, which is a non-conference game. So Skyline will move to 2-0. Hillcrest 1-1 in conference. Hillcrest overall 2-2, and Skyline overall at 2-2. If the game ends as the score stands. I'm looking forward to hearing about that Pocatello Sandpoint game as they were tied. I believe it was 34-35 tied. 35-35 in the fourth quarter. Sweetwood rolls to his right, throws to the outside, and that's complete. It'll be a first down, so the clock will stop to move the chains. But once those chains are moved, Jesse, the clock will continue to roll with 1:12 to play. Ball on the 42-yard line. Sweetwood awaits a snap, takes it, three-step drop. He's going to throw across the middle, and that's just above the hands of his receiver. Thought he was going to bring that down, but that ball came in pretty hot for the intended receiver.
Yeah, and he had him.
And that was Marcus Webster, excuse me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he had two guys right over the middle. Just a little bit too high for both of the receivers.
So 2nd and 10, ball on the 42-yard line, 1:02 to play as the clock stopped off the incomplete pass. It's a screen to Judy. Judy's got some room, and he's met him at the 40-yard line. Nice run from Judy, and good tackle there, open field tackle from the Grizzlies defense.
And you can see why they've been trying to get Judy the ball. The last possession when they tried that screen play.
That was Taylor, the 5'7" DB. He's short even from up here. Sweetwood under in the shotgun on the 40-yard line. Rolls to the far side, continues to roll. And he ends up, it's picked off. Looked like he was throwing the ball to the ground. But that pass was intercepted by Taylor. and he starts celebrating, and he will get an unsportsmanlike conduct called against him.
Yeah, flags started flying as soon. I mean, he intercepted the ball and just chucked the ball right into the air, and I mean that's going to be a call immediately.
And it was a good decision by Taylor. He's only a junior. Once he intercepted that ball to slide, but once he slid, Jesse threw that ball in the air, celebrated, and even tapped a Hillcrest player on the helmet as the Hillcrest player was walking back to his sideline. Not great sportsmanship there, but a solid interception from Taylor.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how things have developed throughout the game between these two teams.
You could tell this was definitely a game that Skyline was looking forward to, as the players have been fired up all game, celebrating on every incomplete pass, especially that secondary, celebrating every incomplete pass. Obviously the interceptions, the big stops on 3rd and 4th down. Skyline has been looking forward to this game since November 10th, 2023, when Hillcrest beat them on the Hail Mary. And there was potential for this game to be an epic battle, and it has been, but it's gone in Skyline's favor late in this 4th quarter. 37 seconds to play. Skyline will kneel the ball after the unsportsmanlike conduct, marches them all the way back to the 8-yard line. Excuse me, the 13-yard line.
And it looked like they called 2 unsportsmanlike conducts.
So they called 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And they do march all the way to we'll call it the 13-yard line. And the referee's talking to both players, both lines once again, as they will set up in victory formation. Skyline, Garcia will take the knee and will lose rushing yards, by the way, which is always kind of disappointing.
Just a little.
But it's also, you want to have that pride to kneel that ball if you're the starting quarterback.
Yeah, it's the best formation, victory formation.
So will the clock go long enough for that runoff? And it looks like it will be enough as the clock goes 3, 2, 1, 0. Skyline wins 28-16. The Grizz defeat the Knights as they answer from last year's semifinal defeat in the state playoffs. We'll be right back for our IdahoSports.com player of the game. You're watching East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Yeah, you can just start at the beginning. That's fine. Yep. Okay. 28-16.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles, stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Idaho isn't your average state, and we are not your average people. We're not afraid to jump feet first, and we see the world a little differently. We know the importance of slowing down and the value of catching up. When we're not busy getting lost, we're looking out for one another. Our whitewater is aggressive, but our driving is not. We know all about taking chances, but we also know our limits. We drive safely because we care. It's who we are.
16, Jesse Richens. Okay, can you read my handwriting? Zion Crockett, 3 touchdowns, 2 catch, and 1 rush.
Yep.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to East Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. It's the post-game show. Joel Richardson with Jesse Richens. Skyline wins the game 28-16, defeat the Hillcrest Knights, the defending 4A, now 5A state champions. Jesse, hard-fought battle. It was epic, but in the fourth quarter, the Skyline Grizzlies got some space, scored an extra touchdown, and win the game 28-16. Jesse, who's our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety?
It's going to be Zion Crockett. I mean, we were talking about him before the game. We know how good of an athlete he is, how much he means to this team as a playmaker. He finished the game with 3 total touchdowns. He had 2 receiving touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown, which was right there at the very end of the game that sealed the deal, and a plethora of yards, obviously. They looked to him as often as they could.
And I liked how they went under center late in that fourth quarter, and that's where Zion Crockett ended up scoring that touchdown right under center. Carmine Garcia hands it off. He got ahead of steam, got a nice block by that offensive line that has struggled a little bit, but they're finding their footing, and they got Zion Crockett a good block for the touchdown. So congrats to Zion Crockett. 3 touchdowns on the night. Next week, Skyline Grizzlies will be back here at Rafson Stadium for the 60th edition of the Emotion Bowl. Grizzlies lead that 36-23 overall over the Idaho Falls Tigers. Should be a good one. The field goal posts are currently painted blue, and next week we'll see if they'll be painted orange or continue to be painted blue. And for Hillcrest, they will be at home at Westmark Stadium playing host to the Shelley Russets. Shelley Russets having a good season. Hillcrest will look to bounce back after this defeat. Jesse, where will you be next week?
I'll be right here.
Likewise.
Right with you again.
We'll be back here next week
3 weeks
filming
in a
the
row.
game for the IdahoSports.com Game of the Week, where we put a little extra juice, a little extra juju on the game. We'll have a couple cameras, have a producer, color, play-by-play, the whole party here, bringing you the emotion, the 60th edition of the Emotion Bowl, Skyline versus Idaho Falls here at Rafson Stadium. That's going to do it for us here at Rafson Stadium as the Skyline Grizzlies defeat Hillcrest 28-16. And we're going to remind you that this has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Value-Wide Cooperative, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Additional coverage on IdahoSports.com has been brought to you by Teton Auto Group and Levitt Select Insurance. This broadcast was also made possible by the great support from these local businesses, Teton Auto Group, MVP Rentals, and Cleopatra's Secret. Special thanks to Athletic Director Zarek Wadsworth and everyone here at Rafson Stadium and Skyline for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you. Thanks again for joining us as the Skyline Grizzlies defeat the Hillcrest Knights by a score of 28-16. For my broadcast partner,
Jesse Richens,
and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Joel Richardson saying be excellent to each other, and we'll see you next week on IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to Idaho